Channel 7 presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from Big Orange Country, it's the Northwest Cabarrus Trojans taking on the A.O. Brown Wonders of Kannapolis. A pleasant good evening, everyone. Along with Woody King, I'm Randy Whitley, and it's kind of a playoff atmosphere between these two rivals who, in some instances, where you go to school is separated by which side of the street you live on, Woody.
Yeah, some neighborhoods are split indeed, Randy. These teams have a long history indeed. You might not think that because everybody talks about the Bell game and the history there, but it's been 26 years since Northwest Cabarrus was able to beat Kannapolis.
Unbelievable, and somehow the Northwest hopeful here tonight feel like this might be their best shot in quite some time.
Well, they're playing outstanding football, Randy. The only two teams Northwest has lost to this year are 14-1 combined. Kannapolis has a similar record. These teams have lost to some very good teams along the way.
I think the combined record of all losses is something like 32-4. That's not bad. They might be off a cylinder, but they're still in the lead now.
Yeah, and that's what they're playing for now, conference positioning for the playoff race. Right now, the winner of this game is going to be in good position to make a run at the end of the season, but this game is key toward that latter part of the season.
So many different factors affecting this game, and sometimes you overlook special teams.
You really do, Randy, and as Coach Helms told us on Headliners Wednesday night, the field's still damp. We had a lot of rain here recently. He told us this field does not drain well, so we'll see if that's a factor. They had a soccer game here last night. Sometimes the kicker tries to plant, the foot comes out. Same thing on running those kickbacks on special teams. We'll see.
Northwest and Kannapolis just a few minutes away from getting it on. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to Trojan Stadium here on the campus of Northwest Cabarrus High School. Big Orange Country as it's affectionately known, and there's the Nut Hut, and they're hoping to have some major action tonight. I don't know if they'll have the sleeper sofa as they had a few years ago. But anyway, it promises to be an exciting game. Earlier, we sent Steve Gant down on the field, and he talked to things and see what happens as far as the Wonders were concerned tonight.
Thanks, Randy. We're Philside with assistant coach, Wonders coach Jeremy Ryan. Jeremy, I don't have to tell you, this is a big game tonight.
Biggest game of the year so far for us. We need to have it to stay in the conference race. And, it's such a tough conference. You have to take advantage of your opportunities.
Exactly. Kannapolis is used to winning conference championships and titles. And, I just think you can't afford to lose two games.
Well, the whole idea is we stopped worrying about that as soon as we got our butts kicked by Statesville last week. I mean, the reality of it is we have to worry about ourselves and what we do and maybe not be so concerned over who we're playing or what we're doing, because at this point, we just need to win. It doesn't matter who we're playing or what we're doing. It just happens to be Northwest this week, and it becomes even more important because of that.
Exactly. Jeremy, I've heard you say time and time again, you don't make excuses. I'm going to ask you about injuries. I know you got some injuries. You got to be concerned.
Yeah, you're always concerned when your best players aren't always on the field, but, you still have to play. And our kids coming back. The thing is, we're remarkably resilient. We had one of our best practices of the year, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's a tribute to the kids, really. Some kids are excited because they get an opportunity to play, and they need to take advantage of their opportunities.
On the high school level, I've heard people say home field advantage means nothing, but I've heard a lot of people say it's tough to go to Kannapolis and play. What about coming to Big Orange Country?
I like coming here. This is a nice place. They really take care of the facilities, and it's a Friday night. It's in North Carolina, and we're ready to have a good time.
You guys are putting a lot of points on the board. Northwest is putting a lot of points on the board. Do you look for a shootout?
Well, every time I say it's going to be a shootout, the final score is 6-2 or something crazy like that. So I just look for us to execute, whether it's offensively, defensively, whatever it takes. We're really looking for big things from our defense, so I will say that.
Okay, Jimmy, let you get to work. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, Randy, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. There you see some of the Northwest fans. Northwest, ironically, 5-2 overall entering tonight's contest, 2-1 in the North Piedmont Conference. And let's see what's happening on the Northwest side of things.
Thanks again, Randy. We're at the Fieldhouse with head coach Mike Helms, Northwest Trojans. Mike, it's like I was just talking to Jeremy Ryan a while ago. Don't have to tell you guys are the coaches. This is the biggest game of the year.
Oh, it is, and the way things have worked for us this year, this has come down to a really big game, and we've told our players all along that each Friday night that we win, the next Friday night they get bigger. So obviously we're playing Brown, and we're playing for playoff seeds. We're playing for conference seeds. We're playing for crosstown rivalry. We're playing for winning seasons, and it's just all on the line tonight. And what a great game it's going to be, and great for high school football.
You know, all the above plus a little pride. I know it's always good to beat a great Kannapolis team. These guys, people look at the records and say Kannapolis is down. You can't take them lightly. They're a good ball team.
Oh, well, they were talking Wednesday about their injuries, and I said then that they're going to have a good team, and they always do and always will. So this year I think we match up based on my first year here better with them this year maybe than in the past based on some of the coaches that's been here for a while. But I feel like it's going to be a good game. We're excited, and I think our players are excited. Our community's excited, and our student body's excited. We're hoping for a big game tonight.
Indeed, a big game. Mike, a big conference game tonight. Can you move on? Can you go into the playoffs with two conference losses?
You know, I'm not sure, and I'll be quite honest, I haven't looked that far ahead. I know I've got to start getting, we got to start filling out things for the state in terms of our conference schedule, how many we've won up to this point, non-conference, so we're starting to look at that. Obviously, we need to win more, I think, to really get a good seed and maybe even to secure a berth. I'm not sure how everything's going to shake out, but we would like to have one more. Obviously, we'd like to win the next three, but tonight, I think it's going to be a good game. I think if we're there in the fourth quarter, I think our chances are very good. We can't give up big plays. We can't get knocked out of the game early, and we hang around. I think we're going to get better.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of points on the board. They're putting a lot of points on the board. I asked Jeremy Ryan, do you look for a shootout?
Well, possibly. We're hoping that we can continue the continuity we've had scoring the points, and this has just not just happened for 1 week scoring the points. It's been a combination of weeks and weeks and weeks, and we're averaging a fair amount of points, and then on top of that, we're controlling the ball, and then we're averaging over 400 yards of total offense. So we need that, and we need our defense to play very well. And if those two things come together tonight, I feel like we're going to be in the game.
And you mentioned Wednesday night when you were talking to Ron Massey on Headliners, he was concerned or made a comment about injuries. How about injuries on the Northwest squad?
Well, we're in good shape right now. We're banged up a little bit, but not to the point where we can't play. People can't play. We've got one kid with a shoulder injury, but he is going to play as a reserve role for us. So we're in pretty good shape injury wise. We're hoping to come out this thing good in shape as well, because we have 3 more games. As I told our players, this is just one game. It doesn't make our entire season, because obviously we could win this one, and if we drop the next 2 conference, and then of course Lake Norman is in the conference, but it doesn't count this year. This game will not do us that good. So that much benefit. We want to win, but obviously we want to take care of business afterwards.
There you go. Mike, always thanks for the hospitality. Always good to visit Northwest Cabarrus, and good luck tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, back to you.
Steve Gant finds them, those coaches. He'll track them down wherever they might be. Going to the field house. Let's take a look, Woody, at some of the keys to tonight's contest.
Well, the first one we've got is linebackers, Randy. We talked about on Headliners, and again tonight, the injuries, particularly the Kannapolis linebacking core. You got Josh Steele, who was an all-conference performer. You've also added in Calvin Bacon for Kannapolis, the Piedmont transfer. The linebackers for Northwest Cabarrus, all seniors with all the offensive weapons. The reads made by the linebackers tonight are going to be key. Next up, we've got the giveaway program. No, that's not the latest thing from the federal government. It's talking about turnovers. You give the other team more possessions, they're likely to win tonight. Also, giving away yardage through penalties. Both the coaches have emphasized the need to minimize mistakes tonight. And finally, WMT, that's Weapons of Mass Touchdowns. How about this, Randy? In 7 games, Gerald Jackson for Northwest, 13 touchdowns. Randy Johnson, the quarterback, 8 TDs. For Kannapolis, Brandon Franklin has thrown and rushed for 14 touchdowns. Derek Williams has caught 8 touchdowns. These teams, Randy, don't have players that can score. They've got players who have scored.
The battle in Orange Country just a few seconds away. We'll meet the co-captains, have the coin toss, and tonight's opening kickoff in just a moment. Minutes ago, Northwest Cabarrus and the Wonders coming onto the field, and let's go field side right now with the coin toss.
Northwest has got Captain Jackson and Bush, and on the other side we got Captain Reeves, Edwards, Atwell, and Sloop. Is that correct? Shake hands, please.
Atwell. Number 17, Maurice and
Couple of reminders. Start this game, guys. Remember to use 16 are in charge of your teams. If somebody's doing something, saying something like it should, we won't ask you to help us with that. They have a foul. Captain the white, captain the black. They come out orange. This might come out green. One of you men will come up to me. I'll explain the foul to you. Now, once you said you do or do not want the foul, you've made a decision. You can't change it. If you don't understand what I'm telling you, ask me, okay? Already had the toss. And West Cabarrus, one to toss, going to receive. Kannapolis is going to kick, and you're going to kick away from the scoreboard. So if you'll turn your backs that way, your backs here, we're going to give one signal. Just come to me right here. Right here. Right here. Steve.
Okay, they're kind of doing it like the NFL guys. The preliminaries out of the way. They just kind of go through the motions here with a coin toss there. Of course, as much rain as we've had of the turf, a little damp, may have lost the coin there if they did it for real.
It might have. The sidelines are very wet. The middle of the field, of course, obviously, as you would expect, better. But Coach Helms told us Wednesday night that the field does not drain very well, and we have had a tremendous amount of rain of late.
So perhaps the team that maybe establishes something offensively before the field is and it gets deteriorated or whatever might have the advantage. And Northwest will get it first and have a chance to do something on offense.
Momentum always key in big games like this.
There you see number 10. That is Chase Maurer for the Ale Brown Wonders. Chase, a 5'10 senior. Gerald Jackson, a man over 1,000 yards rushing.
Hey, Randy, can you do this? I could, but I'd have to go to the hospital.
I tell you what, if we could do that, me, you, and Steve, people would pay money probably. No, they wouldn't. Just to be able to throw things at us. To stop that. Act your age. Louder comes forward. Kind of squibs it, taking it about the 15-yard line. This will be number 86. That's Roseboro out to about the 24, 25-yard line. And that's where the Northwest offense will set up for the first time tonight. Let's check out those lineups for you.
Well, first for the Trojans, as they'll get the ball first along that offensive line, all are juniors. Zach Hayworth is going to go both ways tonight. LeGrand, the biggest, at 250 pounds. And if we look at the skill players back there for the Trojans, Gerald Jackson, over 1,000 yards in only 6 games so far. Allman has already caught 30 passes so far this season. And as they come to the line, that gives us a chance to check out the fine quarterback, Randy Johnson. Randy, his numbers, 55 complete out of 99 attempts, 843 yards, and 8 TD passes.
Single setback with 2 wide. They will fake the toss. Over the middle, zips it complete. First down at the 44-yard line. Bryson Stewart, the tight end, caught it over the middle. Boy, did he have some mustard on that football.
And he had some nice time, Randy. An excellent fake, a hard fake, not just a go through the motions kind, to freeze the defense for a beat. And then, as you said, watch him zip it. But it's a good thing that Stewart caught that. It might still be going.
Allman, one receiver to the bottom of your screen. Behind Johnson on first down at the 45-yard line. Jackson hit at the line of scrimmage, gets maybe a yard out of it. The Wonders defensive down lineman. Looks like Josh Reeves helping a few folks up. He's wearing number 5 tonight. Let's take a look at the Wonders, how they'll line up defensively.
Well, along that defensive line, Randy Gonzalez, the biggest there at 220 pounds. He and Allison are juniors. Howie is a sophomore. The linebackers, Calvin Bacon, the Piedmont transfer. You've also got Josh Reeves, Peoples on the defensive backside. He and Reeves are going to be going both ways tonight. Sean Johnson, the lone senior in that Wonder secondary. And there's Reeves.
2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line. Johnson to pass. Sideline. Zips it complete. Allman out of bounds at the Wonder 47-yard line. Jake Allman, the leading receiver, not only on this team with 30 catches on the year, but leading the conference in that department. Just a very multi-talented athlete as far as all facets of the game.
And not a lot of margin for error for Randy Johnson there. He threaded the needle pretty well. That was pretty close, tight coverage that time. He didn't have a lot of room to make a mistake, or there were two Wonder defenders who could have taken that one back the other way.
Johnson 2 for 2. And it's 3rd down and 2 at the Wonder 47. Jackson with the call, slices off the right side, depending on the forward spot. No whistle yet. 2nd, 3rd effort. He gets to the 45. It will be very close, Woody. They may have to bring the change in.
Well, let's see where they spot it first.
There was he just kept fighting. The whistle never blew.
They look like they spotted it across inside the 45, and he really did fight hard.
Look how he was down. No whistle. 2nd effort.
Wow, they didn't spot it inside the 45. It looked like where they were looking earlier it was.
I got a feeling Mike Helms says, we're going for it. 4th down and about a foot.
And you got a 180-pound quarterback.
Johnson keeps it. They'll move the sticks to the Wonder 42-yard line.
Randy Johnson having a breakout year, and that is easy to do when you haven't played. He's been a basketball player. He hadn't played since he was the freshman quarterback at the JV level. So he is a fine athlete and is showing you that this season with the numbers we mentioned before that he's put up.
A little over 2 minutes into the game. It's 1st down and 10 to the Wonder 43-yard line. Northwest with the first possession of the game with 2 wide. The single set behind, and it will be Jackson hits the line and tries to get away. But too many white shirts in the vicinity. Stopped, maybe a loss. Ken Campley just nowhere to go.
He really
wrap it up.
You could see him bounce off it at the line of scrimmage and try and find a little room. They may have given him I don't know, half a foot
There's
or so.
Reeves.
Yeah, and Reeves, an outstanding player. And there you see Calvin Bacon, number 7, of course, the Piedmont transfer.
Boy, these are some pretty white uniforms right now. Roseboro split to the top. You got Allman as the flanker to the right side. On 2nd and 10, they'll send Allman in motion. And roll left with protection. Now it breaks down, and the Wonders will have a sack back across midfield at the Northwest 49-yard line. Jamel Weeks came shooting through. The linebacker, 6-foot junior, making the stop.
And he's one of those guys who've had to step up. We mentioned Andrew King and Josh Steele, starting linebackers previously. Not here, but we saw Weeks play well earlier in the South Rowan game, especially.
Something you never want to get into, and it's 3rd down and long at midfield for Northwest Cabarrus. As they'll shuffle the play in, Allman will split out to the big side of the field this time. They'll work it this time, formation the I on 3rd down and 17. Johnson, pressure, screen, left side. It's going to be complete out of the backfield. Kempley down the sidelines. 1st down and bumped out of bounds inside the Wonder 30-yard line. A great screen to the left side. Calvin Bacon knocked him out of bounds.
And that's a linebacker, Randy, almost 30 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, chasing him down. But Kempley, boy, look at the pressure there on Johnson. He really goes down under a heavy wave of Josh Reeves, and a great block downfield by Roseboro to help get him a few more yards.
He really didn't put the body on him, just kind of got in the way and positioned his out of the way. And
there's a misconception that you got to put the guy on his back to have a good block, and that's not the case. All you got to do is give the ball carrier time. Just give him a beat to get by or make a move.
25 yards on the screen pass completion, giving them new life, and they don't call a timeout. No, they came over to get the word. I think it is going to be a timeout call.
Well, no, now they're waving him back on the field.
As they get back in there, the play clock has not started. So
I think they thought there was an official stoppage of play.
Okay, here comes the offense running back onto the field with 7:59 left in the first period. Johnson calmly walks to the center. From the I with 2 receivers split right this time. He'll roll, plenty of time. And Allman forgot the football. Jake, normally sure-handed, felt some pressure and didn't tuck it in.
Tarin Fisher out there on the coverage, but you're right. He tried to take off before he had it wrapped up, and you roll Johnson out to try and give him a little time. The Wonders have been getting some pressure on him here. Delivers a nice ball, but got to wrap that one up, and you see his frustration at the end of that play. But as you mentioned, Allman, the team's leading receiver, and that won't affect the number of times they go to him tonight, I'm sure.
I believe so. Kind of a multi-purpose yardage guy, nearly 800 yards on the year. 2nd and 10 now. Tailback is Jackson around the right side. Veers in and gets about 5, I think. Boy, did you see him put the brakes on?
He really can't change direction well, Randy. A little slow to get up there. Let's hope he's okay. But the main thing I like about Jackson is his acceleration. Look at this right here. He turns it on. He may not be the fastest player around, but 0 to 60, he probably gets there quicker than anybody. And that hole, is he asking for timeout or to come out? He's limping.
Oh, not good news for Northwest Cabarrus.
He took a pretty good pop on the leg at the end of that play.
And now there will be a timeout asked for and received by Northwest. 7:17 left in the opening period. No score. Northwest in the red zone when we come back. As we come back to Trojan Stadium, not really sure of the injury, but obviously on the left, they trying to put some weight on it. He was running up and down the sidelines during the timeout, Woody.
Well, hopefully he's going to be okay and be back.
3rd and 1 at the Wonder 16-yard line. Fullback, Kepley stood straight up. It was Josh Reeves meeting, and Sean Johnson also went on the tackle.
Well, nothing doing that time for Kepley. Josh Reeves showing you why he's one of the best around right there. Just right smack dab in the middle of where the play was supposed to go. Look at that. You see him, just a white blur coming through the line there to shut that down.
One of the key plays early in the ballgame, we saw the screen pass on 3rd and long. Click. They've already gone for a 4th down one time in this drive and made it. Now it is 4th and about 2.5 feet, a little bit less than a yard this time. But you are down in where the yards come hard right now.
Still no Jackson.
Allman is the tailback. They fake the pitch. Now they'll throw out the flat to him. They've got the first down out of bounds. Allman at the 11-yard line. Calvin Bacon on the tackle for the Wonders. Jake lines up as the tailback and comes out to make the pass.
What a nice call that was by the Northwest coaches. Good ball fake. Everybody in the house had to be expecting run. Just a little pass out in the flat there to Allman, the team's leading receiver, sure-handed. Told you that wouldn't affect how many times they threw it to him.
Of course, he was a quarterback last year, so he's used to handling the football, right?
Exactly. But, Randy, I don't think you probably could have counted 3 people in this stadium who were thinking pass on that play.
And they won that round. First down attempt on the 12-yard line. It'll be the fullback, Kepley, popping the middle for about 5 tough yards. Well, he ran over somebody, and that was Bacon.
And watch the left side of that Northwest Cabarrus offensive line on this one, Randy. They just clear it out. Look at that. I mean, just a huge hole.
Bacon held on for help.
Yeah, that's about right. Kepley was on him before he even realized it.
Down to the 7 at 2nd and 5. They still can't get a first down. There's the line shot. Northwest offense breaking the huddle. Allman and Kepley in the backfield behind Johnson this time. It'll be Kepley again. Legs keep moving. He'll be near a first down. The 3, possibly the 2, depending on the spot. Bacon again on the tackle.
And Kepley just a hard runner. He kind of reminds you a little bit of Fusaro over at Mount Pleasant. Similar size at 162 pounds there, but just keeps the legs working. And boy, I wonder when the last time he got this many carries was this early.
I don't know, but he's making the most of the opportunities here. It'll be 3rd and 1 as they break the huddle at. Well, they haven't spotted the ball yet.
Well, let's hope we don't have.
Well, they're actually going to bring it out to measure. Okay. Our first official appearance by the chain crew tonight, Woody.
Let's hope we don't have a conference after every call like we did last week.
Oh, man, well, those guys are horrendous.
That was something. I see Gerald Jackson starting to inch closer and closer to Mike Helms to give him that hint that, hey, Coach, I'm ready to go back in. But so far, Coach Helms is ignoring him.
Gerald says, short of death, you're not going to keep me out of this game.
Just need to rest that thing a little while longer there.
5:32 there. You see the time. No score, but this drive began at the 25-yard line of Northwest. The first possession. This is exactly what Mike Helms wanted to do. Take time off the clock and score, if possible.
Here's where you might look for Allman again, Randy. Similar situation to that 4th down play.
They'll have 2 receivers split. Kepley, the fullback, number 12. Number 11 is Jake Allman, the 5'11 senior. Johnson calls his own number and will have the first down, and darn near snuck it into the end zone.
Sure did. Nice seam there, just like the one he snuck for earlier, Randy. And strong kid at 180 pounds. Worked his way through. 2 more freshmen coming in now for Northwest.
Now they bring out a number that we don't have, which is 85 in the wide receiving position. It is first and goal. Nose of the ball right at the 1 yard line. They'll have the single set. That is Kempley behind Johnson. Quick count. Johnson sneaks. And Northwest on the board first.
Well, went right back to the same well, didn't they, Randy?
Oh, hey. Be kind to those linemen tonight, young man. They did a great job for you.
What an outstanding season that young man is having.
Johnson scores on the 1 yard keeper. And it caps a 75-yard opening drive by Northwest. And now Kyle Simeon out of the hold of Allman. It's up and into the light. 4:57 left. First period. Northwest breaks out. There's Jackson still on the sidelines after banging up the leg about midway through this opening drive. It covered 75 yards, as we said, but got a feeling he's going to be back. Tough guy to keep out of the lineup. Derek Williams, along with Jonathan Peoples, are the deep guys. And kicking it off will be Crutchfield. It will be Peoples fumbles, muffs it in the end zone, and will just take a knee, and it will be brought out on the touchback at the 20-yard line. That'll give us a chance to check out the A.L. Brown and the Wonders offensive line.
Well, an experienced bunch here, all juniors and seniors. Sloop, 302 pounds. Atwell, 308 pounds. Both of those guys are juniors. Now, the skill players there, we need to talk about the injury that we mentioned earlier, Randy, that has plagued Maurice Edwards. That's why he's not in the starting lineup. Jonathan Peoples is going to go both ways. Derek Williams has caught 8 touchdown passes. There's Brandon Franklin, 53 for 95, 914 yards, 12 TD passes.
Quick toss, right side. It will be around the right side for about 2 yards as Peoples, the 5'9 junior, bumped out of bounds over there. Brian Roseberg going both ways tonight for Northwest. Let's take a look at the defense and the way the Trojans will line up.
Well, along that defensive front, Crest is a sophomore. Hayworth, as we mentioned, going to be going both ways tonight. The linebackers, all seniors. Stewart is the biggest there at 192 pounds. Then the defensive backfield, Hollifield, the lone junior. The rest of those guys, seniors.
3 yards on the pickup on first down. It's 2nd down and 7. And here's Franklin to the air. Out, complete. Look at the lateral play. Looky here. There's our first trickery of the night down the Sunrise Peoples. Out of bounds at the Northwest 39-yard line. Blake Bush pushed him out of bounds. But Derek Williams, you would think, hey, this kid's talented enough to carry the ball and carry the mail. But hey, Ron Massey brings one out of the old playbook here.
And look at Peoples coming out of the backfield there. The key, Randy, is getting a lot of space around the receiver so he has room to make that pitch, and the Wonders executed that to perfection.
Williams now with 18 catches on the year, and that one, that's a keeper too. Put that one, file that one back, use it again later in the year maybe. Here come the Wonders back. On the counter, Edwards checks in, and he's checked up at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Playing with a hurt shoulder, very tender, and you just never know. But he's a senior. Matt Stack put him on the ground, but some of these seniors in this big arch rival game, it's going to take a lot of injury to keep them out of it tonight.
Well, there are a lot of guys who put points on the board for both sides in this game, Randy.
4 wideouts this time. Edwards beside Franklin in the backfield. Here's Franklin. Zips it. And it is going to be complete down to the 34-yard line. Ricky Ardrey. It'll be short of the first down.
Watch it again. Pretty good coverage by Northwest, but Franklin just zips it through.
How did that thing get through there?
It's like the one that Johnson made on the previous drive. So both quarterbacks look like they've come out on top of their game.
3rd down and 5. Line to make the 29 of Northwest. Franklin will have 3 wideouts to operate with this time. How about his Edwards slip? Now here we go. He's thought about slipping. I mean, that may have been on purpose because Franklin fooled everybody and went around the right side for the first down.
Number one, I don't think they thought he still had the ball. Number two, I think when some of them realized it, they thought surely his knee must have touched when he slipped. Watch him here.
That's pretty good fake. He carried it out. Edwards won't give Maurice an Oscar on that one.
That's what it's all about. You can't just go through the motions on that fake. All you need to do is freeze the defense for a beat. You've got to work hard to sell it.
At the 21-yard line, the Wonders with a new set of downs to work with. First down and 10 and 4 receivers in the pattern. Franklin, quarterback keeper, hemmed in, trying to get away. Will get something positive as he dives inside the 20-yard line. They had him at the line of scrimmage, but you see the strength of that 6'2", 200-pound guy.
Well, it looked like Jacob Searcy cleared the way out. Watch 75 right there, taking his man out of the picture and allowing Franklin the room to get through.
The running ability adds that extra dimension, of course, not only with this guy, but with Johnson on the other side. Quarterback's the key in tonight's contest. Well, that was, he got his money's worth on the right side. He took about 3 steps, didn't it? Randy Sloot. You can't hide, Randy. 302 pounds. He took 2.5 steps, okay?
Yeah, well, if he leans, it looks like a building falling over.
But the thing about it is you're going to get penalized 5 yards if you flinch, so you might as well take a couple while you're there. Hard to put in reverse.
First penalty of the game.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the opening period. This is the first time Kannapolis has had the ball.
It's always funny, Randy, to watch guys studying their wrists for the plays. It looks like everybody's trying to find out what time it is.
If there's watches out there, friends, I hope they're shock resistant. Second and 11. Franklin options out. Here's Edwards. He's got speed, but they got a hold of him inside the 20. Edwards did get to the 16-yard line, and there's a penalty marker way back in the Wonder backfield at the 30-yard line.
Well, Danny Meendering, number 70, blew right up the middle that time and forced Franklin to make the pitch, maybe a little bit before he wanted to, but after that, after the play had already gone downfield, there was evidently a little something extra because the flag didn't come out right away.
That will be a dead ball foul, so
let's credit
personal foul against the Wonders.
Credit Jacob Allman on the tackle that last time, and Ron Massey, I think he's looking for an explanation.
It will be from the point of foul, so negate the fine run, and we'll maybe get a chance to see it on the replay. Let's see.
Check it out. Now, there you see Meendering going through, but now they're both kind of back there lying around, rolling around in the mud, and then something happened afterwards.
That's about a 25-yard difference in real estate, Woody.
Unbelievable. Huge penalty.
Second down and forever. The Wonders need to get to the 11-yard line for a first down. Quick toss out of the eye, and there's a flag. They blew the whistle. A little bit of trouble getting the trigger pulled there. The flag starts.
Officials are still dropping their flags to make sure that everybody knows they saw it too. Illegal procedure against the Wonders, and Randy, that time you could see what was about to happen. Maurice Edwards was going to throw that ball.
Yeah, we saw that play. That has worked pretty good, more often than not.
He, a former quarterback as well, and we saw him, I think it was against South Rowan throw the touchdown ball, wasn't it, or was it against Concord?
I think South Rowan, but also we saw him in the playoffs the last couple of years throw the football, too. Up in Franklin last year. That was a pretty pass. Second and 40. Can you believe this? Play fake. Franklin looking, steps out of the pocket. Now heaves it across field, wide open at the 35-30. Here is Josh Russell, still on his feet, down out of bounds at the 17-yard line. I don't think that's the way they drew it up on paper, but it works.
Franklin got that one away with somebody hanging all over his shoulder pads that time. Then Ricky Ardrey makes a great block downfield to help spring some extra yards out of it. Watch this. Guy's hanging on him, and he's going to get it away anyhow. Here's Russell. Now watch Ardrey, 23, coming in here to help out. Right there, and that springs him around the corner.
Russell with 28 catches on the year. He and Allman are in the same playing field up there above everybody else.
Now the officials are having some kind of a conference here, Randy, but let's give Ricky Ardrey some credit. He could have stood in the middle of the field and been a spectator, and nobody would have ever thought anything different on that play. Instead, He busts his butt to hustle over to the sidelines and get in that play and get an extra 7 or 8 yards out of it.
Franklin's going to be feeling like the offense is on vacation instead of 2nd and 40. Now it's 3rd and 7. Time, out pattern, and I think it was a case of Russell was looking upfield before he tucked it in.
Well, he got a big lick that time. I think it was Roseboro out there, Randy, who came charging up. It was to make the pop. Looked like he was bobbling it as he turned around.
And just state this about Franklin's arm. Not many high school quarterbacks can throw it that far diagonally across the field with accuracy and get it there.
Yeah, on a rope without, hanging it in the air like a punt.
Louder is on to attempt the field goal. It will be a 35-yard attempt just inside the left hash mark. Williams to hold. High snap. Louder gets it down. It's long enough, and she got in there. The Wonders answer back with the field goal by Chase Louder. 51.3 seconds to go in the opening period. We got us a good one going. Let's take a look at, there's Chase Louder. We're going to see him and what happens after the ball left his foot. Now, you think kicking job is easy, right?
Well, I see his uniform's dirty, so I'm expecting you're going to say he got run over by somebody.
Okay, we'll watch it here in a minute. Gerald Jackson, who was checked back into the Northwest lineup, back in deep receiving formation. He won't get it. One of the Northwest up guys at about the 19-yard line. Northwest will start about where they started the last drive at the 25, 26-yard line. Ken Kepley on the return. Let's take a look at Chase Louder. Here's what happens.
Uniform's clean now, see? Oh! We talked about guys planting their foot and trying to kick in that special teams contest you mentioned in our open, Randy, and you saw his foot come right out from under him.
And that, I figured, was kind of a more safe spot because it was out past where they'd been kicking the extra points and using the field of practice, but that was from the 25, the left hash mark. You figure that wouldn't be quite as bad, but hey, it's treacherous out there to say the least tonight. Trojans at the 27-yard line officially with a single set, and he'll get the toss. Cutting back, opening, Kepley off to the races, foot race across the far way, and out of bounds in Wonder territory inside the 40. Taryn Fisher knocked him out of bounds.
Where did Kepley come up with that kind of speed, Randy? He's supposed to be a fullback, and he's running down there beyond defensive backs.
He said, Coach, just give me the ball, I'll run till somebody stops me. And there was nobody home on the left side.
Boy, Kannapolis had to be thinking Gerald Jackson coming in, but so far it's been Kepley who's made the huge plays.
He took a nice little slide there on the sidelines.
He looked like a guy going whitewater rafting or something there, didn't he?
There was a flag dropped. We couldn't see it with all the bodies across the sidelines, but apparently a dead ball foul, personal foul against the Wonders, and that will be tacked on after the tackle. And now look at this. In one play, Northwest is down to the Kannapolis 27-yard line.
And that's going to be...
look how far they break the huddle.
Yeah, that's going to be the 15-yard variety, Randy, and that means 4 penalties for 40 yards for the Wonders so far.
Johnson up to the line of scrimmage with 12 seconds on the play clock. That's how they had the hustle. Straight drop. Good protection this time. Will go deep to Allman, who was open, but he overshoots it. Allman had his man beat by a bunch.
Yeah, Jonathan Peoples back there on the coverage, Randy, but I think Franklin, or rather Johnson, looked up and got wide-eyed because he saw Allman breaking away wide open and had a little bit of extra adrenaline on that ball.
Yeah, he had it juiced a little bit.
And Coach Helms is telling him, take a little bit off of that, and that was 6.
30.5 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-3 in Northwest trying to get some more here. This is only the third possession. So second possession by Northwest. Kannapolis has had it one time. So both teams moving the ball at will here, looks like. On second down. And down to about the 21-yard line. Excuse me.
Clock's still ticking inside 20 seconds now.
Kepley's got to be over 100 yards. Or close to it.
Having a huge half.
Probably will not run. No, they're going to run it out here and go to the other end of the field here. So 12 minutes in the books here, and Northwest with a 7-3 lead here in Big Orange Country tonight. Full force tonight, orange and white rally towels. 3rd and 5. Who's got it? Well, it's going to be Johnson. Roll it out, pops it out to Allman, complete, down the sidelines, 10-5, bumped out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal, Northwest Cabarrus.
Boy, 3 fakes, roll Johnson out, a little pass out the flat, little screen, and Allman almost takes it to the house. Randy, how about the quarterback performances so far for these guys? For Randy Johnson, 5 out of 7. For Brendan Franklin, 4 for 4.
Can't get much better than that, though.
No.
And they were pretty even overall coming into tonight's game as far as the yearly stats. Northwest on the move again. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Allman. Touchdown. We're coming at you. Stop us if you can. And Allman and the Trojans win that round. That is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And add that to his 9 total with the 6 receiving. So multi-purpose back. Some all-purpose yards there. Now here's the point. Let's got the sand out there.
Now I'm like you. That's the spot I was concerned about earlier.
Well, let's see what Simeon can do. Now here you see the effects perhaps. Jonathan Peoples got the block for the Wonders. So the score will remain 13-3. We still got 11:25 to go in the first half. Randy Whitley on with Woody Kane and the entire Metro Summit production staff. Right now, Northwest has had the football twice. They've scored. Kannapolis has had it once. They've scored. And they're going to get it back again.
The real difference, I think, right now, Randy, is the penalty yardage. Kannapolis, 40 yards in penalties on just 4 penalties. So far, 0 for Northwest Cabarrus. Remember, Kannapolis drove almost to the red zone, then got pushed all the way back out to midfield.
And still came down and got in field goal range and made something out of it where most teams would have just wilted. What was it, 2nd and 40 at one time?
Yeah.
Crutchfield moves it deep. Williams at the 10. Gets a block. Another one on the corner and will be ridden out of bounds, and that's going to bring a flag. Oh, he was so close to pulling it out of his pocket.
I'm like you, Randy. I thought he was going to throw the flag indeed. It was Spencer Overcash on the tackle who clearly wrestled him down and kept the play going after they were out of bounds. The official, he flinched. He reached for the pocket.
Yeah, I would have pulled it.
He didn't draw it out, though. That could easily have been the first penalty of the night on Northwest Cabarrus, but
here's the touchdown again. We're going to watch it from Allman, 3 yards out.
Right up the middle. He's hardly touched before he crosses the goal line.
Kannapolis with great field position to start this drive at the 34-yard line. Single set with 3 receivers for Franklin. Coming down the line, cuts it up. And we'll have about 3, maybe 4. Josh McKnight there for Northwest. Josh, little petite guy, 6'1", 240 pounds.
And Franklin darn near ran away from him. Still got almost 5 on the play. How about Brandon Franklin so far, Randy? We mentioned the passing comparison, 4 out of 4 for 75 yards.
And he was, of course, the team's leading rusher as well, coming in over 400 yards, 5.3 per carry, which ain't too shabby for your quarterback.
Yeah, these teams offensively potent, both averaging about 4 touchdowns a game.
Out of the gun, Franklin with the seam. Oh, look out. He's got it in 4th gear. They got him inside the 30-yard line. Man, oh man, is he a house. Randy Johnson, his counterpart, the quarterback playing the secondary, met the bull head on and made the tackle.
We talked about Franklin's ability to run. The Wonders primarily want him to throw because he's such a talented quarterback that way, but he shows you here what kind of skills he's got with the legs.
He was
working his way downfield.
You saw him looking both ways and say, okay, where are they coming from?
He looked like a guy trying to cross the street, didn't he?
Yeah. There was some traffic. It finally caught up with him, but not before. A great gain to the Northwest 30-yard line. Here come the Wonders back.
This is the Brandon Franklin series.
I thought about optioning. Says, I'm going to carry it till you stop me on this drive. He got about 7 on that play.
I think what he did there is just throw an outstanding head fake. I think he believed the whole time he was going to keep it.
Well, anytime you're running behind a big guy like number 75, Jake Searcy, that makes the job a little easier, too.
He just threw a head and shoulders fake and got 2 guys to bite on it and left him a big gap.
Wonders will have it second down as they break the huddle at the Northwest 23-yard line. Williams split to the left. You got Ardrey along with Josh Russell to the right of your screen, and now a mix-up. Whistles blowing all over the place. And Kannapolis will be forced to burn a timeout. 9:24 to go here in the first half. 13-3 Northwest Cabarrus, but Kannapolis is on the move again. As we come back, we see it from the other end zone.
Well, it looks like they've gone a long way from that angle, doesn't it?
On second and a long 3. They give it, or fake the give to Edwards. Now Franklin hits Williams over the middle. First down inside the 15-yard line. In heavy traffic, here comes the bullet. Catch it or die.
Yeah, and Franklin pretty fortunate to have some time because his blocking slips down here. See that? On the rollout, his blocking slipped down, but so did the Trojan defender. They couldn't get to him in time.
That ball, like you said earlier, with Franklin throwing it, you better catch it or it'll knock you out.
He had big old Chris Brenner out there leading the way on that rollout, and he slipped down.
First down and 10. Wonders with a new set of sticks to work with, new set of downs.
And looks like maybe there's an equipment problem or something with Derek Williams over there on the sidelines, 22. They've taken him out. And they brought in Andrew Meade,
who started the year as the reserve quarterback. Here's Franklin. Keeps it. Inside the 5. Spinning. Touchdown, Kannapolis. The Wonders inch back, and on their second possession, they put points on the board.
Brandon Franklin doing it all with the legs tonight, Randy. We talked about weapons of mass touchdowns. He's won. He has thrown 12 touchdown passes, rushed for a couple of more, now 3 more. So give Brandon Franklin a total of 15 TDs on the year.
4 possessions tonight, 2 by each team, and soon to be 23 points on the board.
This might be a game where first stop wins.
Kind of like you got to win by 2.
Yeah.
Louder has the ball blocked, no good. And the score remains. It's a 4-point lead. That point might come back to haunt Kannapolis. We'll wait and see. 13-9. 8:48 to go, first half. If you're a defensive coordinator, you got to be hitting the pimps at AC right about now. If you're the offensive guy, you're looking like a genius, Woody.
Well, if you're a defensive purist, this is not your night. We talked about these teams having a lot of firepower, both averaging around 28 points a game.
Here's Louder to kick it. Gets a good foot into it. All the way back and at the 1-yard line, as they say. Here comes Jackson. Well, he's in that pile somewhere.
Well, he almost had to bat that one, it looked like, to keep it from going into the end zone. It bounced right back to him.
Let's take a look at the Wonder touchdown here moments ago.
Boy, Brandon Franklin again, just right around the end. Look at him just outrunning guys. There were 2 guys right there.
Franklin.
He wasn't happy at all, was he?
He and Johnson just give your offense on both teams a whole different dimension. The running quarterback, man, you got enough weapons to stop, and then the quarterback takes off.
They're fun to watch.
Hey, Johnson still got the football, and the Wonders got him. The 3 against 3. Jamel Weeks pushed him out, and it looked like Fisher on the sack. You see it right up the gut, Woody. See, Weeks pushed him out.
Yep.
Sealed that side off, and 3 against 3, and the green and white won that one.
Well, that is the biggest defensive play so far tonight.
I was wondering if they were going to show up tonight.
Well, these are high-powered offenses, Randy. The defenses, a few big plays might be able to determine this one on the defensive side.
Well, they've got Northwest pushed deep back to the 2-yard line, 2nd and 22. Johnson just trying to get some running room, and right now he's still running out to the 10-yard line.
Well, he says that Brendan Franklin can do it, and so can I.
Got to get a little room for your punter because you've got 3rd and long coming up now. They need to get to about the 24-yard line.
The first quarter, Northwest went to more of a spread look, Randy, with one back a lot. Now they're gone to the look we saw against Mount Pleasant a lot with the misdirection and the full house and all that. Now they go back to the one back.
And they'll move the tight end over on the right side. Quick toss to Lissette, long set back, cutting against the grain, getting a block on the corner, and they'll have the first down. Here's Kempley having their career tonight, bumped out of bounds. First down Trojans at their 38-yard line. Taryn Fisher on the tackle. My goodness, nothing fancy about that. He just cut it back against the grain.
We're going to find out what he had for breakfast this morning. I want some. Look at that now.
Now here's the block. You see Allman sprung him for another 10 yards with a play. Nice block there that sealed it.
And he skids on his chest about 10 more yards for the second time tonight.
Well,
what is up with Kepley? He's having a huge half.
It's wet on both sides of the field. Well, that gets him out of the hole. They'll officially spot it just shy of the 39-yard line. Kepley. Surely to goodness they won't give him the ball. He's got to be winded right now. Johnson with a long count this time. Well, guess what? 12's got it.
Oh, you heard the pop.
You heard the pop of the 41-yard line. It was Andrew King who's back after the injury.
My goodness, that did sound like a violent collision right in the middle. I'm like you, I kind of thought they might not go right back to Kepley, but they did. Andrew King was ready.
That's the 7th, 8th game of the year. You ought to be in shape.
Yeah, he met the gap that time.
42-yard line progress, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Single setback once again, this formation with 2 wide for Johnson. Fakes the toss, goes over the middle, tipped. Josh Reeves got a hand on it from the linebacking position.
And Josh Reeves is down there acting like he's upset at himself for not intercepting that one. That's a fine play to get in the middle of that from the linebacker spot, to run from the middle of the field all the way to get a hand on that one.
One of the better ones. You got a bunch of potential Division I prospects out here tonight on both these teams.
And we are seeing less and less and less of Gerald Jackson, Randy. I'm wondering if he's okay.
Could have tightened up on him. You just don't know. Trips to the top this time on 3rd and 7. Haven't seen this formation. Johnson rolls, cuts back against it, and Stewart got him tackled for a loss. Staying home, Jamel Weeks with some good D for the Wonders that time.
Weeks is having a big night, Randy. He did last time. We saw him as well. 200-pound junior just read that one all the way. Watch 42 flow over here. Boy, he didn't flow. He never left.
Yeah, he said, I got the tight end covered. They were trying to sneak one in on him. Well, hey, we're going to have a punt, believe it or not, and it comes with 5:45 to go in the first half.
Wow.
Let's see. I didn't know if either team had a punter. It's Michael Hamilton. Derek Williams can take the mail. Back in punt receiving formation. This one hits, takes a Trojan roll. Williams picks it up. Dangerous play. There's a flag. That one's going to come back. Well, let's watch Williams operate. He's got some free field in front of him. The kicker has the angle, and he'll come back, though, because
every flag on the field is lying in a little pile back at the other 20. There was a clear block in the back that time, right as Williams started to make his move.
But once again, you get a preview of maybe the Kannapolis special teams. He's got 2. I didn't think they were allowed but 1.
Look at all the laundry down there. Now that was right in front of the ball carrier and the official right on top of it.
Yeah, there was might have been multiple infractions on that one.
And that might have been one of those where the Kannapolis sidelines was yelling over at Williams, no, don't pick that up.
Well, it took a funny hop. You figured on this field, you don't know what kind of hops it's going to take. Just taking a hop on the damp field is a chore in itself tonight for the football. So Kannapolis will take points off the board on the punt return. Here we see it again. Watch it come back to the left. Well, here's where it got in trouble because the lineman going
right there.
Yeah, that was, and there was probably another one there. So perhaps 2 infractions on the same return. So from the point of the foul, step the yards off, and Kannapolis will be in a deep hole.
Still no penalties against Northwest Cabarrus.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
And 5 penalties for 50 yards on the Wonders in the first half.
Gracious.
We talked about the giveaway program. That's 50 yards you've given the other team.
Here's Jackson talking to one of the assistant coaches,
saying he's ready to go back in, I bet.
Franklin under pressure, sets the screen up, and Edwards drops the football. Boy, Reese can do some beautiful things if he holds on to the football that time. They suckered in the Northwest defense pretty good.
Scotty Atwell was over there trying to make the block, but his man got by him. He was trying to get his shoulder back around in front, but just not a lot they could do on that play.
So 2nd and 10, stops the clock, 5:06 to go in the first half. 3 receivers will split to the, they'll line them up 2 on each side here. 4 wideouts. Edwards in the backfield with Franklin. Quarterback draw. But the young man hard to bring down. Still gets 4 yards out of it, where most quarterbacks should have taken a loss.
Yeah, Horatio Davis on the defensive front just came blowing through there and got a hit on Franklin, but Brandon ran right through it and turned it into something positive anyway.
Inside 5 minutes to go. Clock running. Wonders now with 3rd down and 6. With a shotgun. Franklin looking. Slant. Incomplete. Williams knows he dropped the football and had some major yardage in front of him.
He really did, because he was sprinting back toward the middle of the field. Randy had already beaten the deep corner, the deep defensive back there. There was nothing but green in front.
So if you're Northwest, do you play for the field position or you come after the punter? Andrew Meade back at about the 2-3 yard line. Allman, the deep back. He'll get the football, and there will be a return. Jukes one man. And we'll go to the 46-yard line. 4:15 left in the first half. Josh Steele making the tackle. Back in just a minute. Back underway, and it was Jackson back into the lineup in the backfield, tackled by King, but not before he picked up about 3 yards.
Jackson must have been lobbying to get back in the game. That's what we saw on the sidelines a while ago. He was
an election year,
coach. Yeah.
It's an election year, not a couple of weeks away, you know. High formation with a slot right, wide out. Up the middle, Campley's having a night to the 39-yard line of the Wonders. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. Reeves on the tackle.
Kepley's got to be over 100 yards already, Randy, and you know everybody was thinking Gerald Jackson coming in, but Kepley has kind of been like Clark Kent Superman here, the mild-mannered guy who all of a sudden turns into a hero.
Well, he had 6 touchdowns, 345 yards, and 49 attempts coming in. Well, he's padded that stat substantially. They'll send Swearingen a wide out to the far side, and now Allman, the man in motion. Campley up the gut, cuts it to the outside, and they're catching from behind. First down Northwest at the Wonder 15-yard line. Weeks with the speed to catch up to Campley, or he had 6.
And let's give some credit to this Northwest offensive line on that right side. Watch Kepley. He is not touched getting through here, Randy. I mean, guys are just sealing things up.
And you saw the athleticism of 42. Boy, he closed in a hurry because there was nobody left. Johnson in with the play from the sidelines. 2:45 clock running first half. First down and 10 for Northwest at the 16-yard line. They lead it by 4, 13-9 from the eye. Jackson lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Penetration by Weeks again, who is playing a great game. Andrew Baker also, one of the outside linebackers in on there, wrapped him up. He'll get an official.
And you can see, Randy, Kannapolis is ready for Jackson and what he does. Almost every time he gets the ball, he's having to evade somebody in the backfield. They know what he wants to do, where he wants to go. Kepley's the guy who's surprised him here.
Just weren't counting on the fullback to kill you.
Yeah.
They don't usually do it.
Well, you don't often get the fullback galloping all over the yard in the first half.
No. Allman in motion. Second and 10. Here goes Kepley. Oh, what a collision. Got about a yard, but paid it heavily. Ran into Josh Reeves, and usually you lose.
Sounded like some stuff cracked down there on that play, didn't it? I mean, you could really hear that one.
They better check vertebrae.
Yeah. Okay, watch this. Watch this collision. Oh, my goodness. That looks like one of those nature shows on PBS where the Rams are up there, you know, or the Mountain Dew commercial or something.
No, we're not giving away any Dodge trucks tonight.
Look, it knocked all his hair out.
Come on, Woody. 1:34 to go. Timeout called on the field, and it's 13-9. The situation is 3rd down and 7 coming up at the 14-yard line. A.L. Brown. Let's talk about headliners. Boy, you talking about a headliner next week. Jody Grooms will be in our studio. Central Cabarrus hosts the #1 ranked team in the world, I think, the Independents. Your old alma mater.
Yeah, Independents on a roll. Chris Lee throwing the ball all over creation and putting up all kinds of stats. Has a chance to set some all-time records before he's through this year. But Central Cabarrus trying to hang on in that Mecca 8 race. Of course, while we're doing this game, the Vikings are taking on West Mech this week, so we'll talk to Coach Grooms about that and about the upcoming game.
Tommy Nutt's bringing his crew to town. 3rd down and 7. I formation. They'll flop the tight end to the right side this time. And now Johnson with time. Has to reverse his field. Leads one man. The Wonders will hem him in and stop him short down at the 11-yard line. Reeves over there along with Josh Steele teaming up with the tackle.
Reeves got him, Randy, but I'm telling you, I think it was Weeks who slowed him down enough that time to let help get there because Johnson had some room back to that left side after he cut back.
I don't see the field goal unit on. It's 4th down.
Watch here. Watch him grab him as he tries to cut back and slow him down. Right here. It was Weeks, and then the defense has time to recover.
4th and a long 4, Woody, just outside the 11-yard line, and now they're going to call a timeout to get hit with too much time. 49.2 to go here in the first half. 13-9, but 4th and 4 coming back for Northwest. That's the official. It's a hardly exclusive club, Woody, as we come back. The Nutties at the Nut Hut. And you got to really petition hard to get in that.
I'm like you. I miss it when they had the sleeper sofa down on the sidelines.
Don't say anything. Oh, you've done it now.
They're liable to have a whole living room out there next time we come back.
I have a kitchen sink.
Yeah. And the players urging the fans to get into it here.
The Wonders defensively, you're down there right in front of that crowd, and they are making some noise. But at the same time, it might hurt your offense because they can't hear the signals. They're going to set up with a field goal. From the 18 and 10, it'll be a 28-yard attempt by Crutchfield. Mike, a 5'11 junior from the left hash mark. Trying to get 3 on the board. Kick is up. It will be way short, and Kannapolis will return this one out of the end zone. You can do it. High school ball. Here is Brett Bartles down the sideline. Can they catch it? Cuts to the center, and finally It looked like Matt Stack got him, but not before he got inside the 25-yard line. The Wonders still with time, 32.7 seconds to go. And one more play, they're going to be in field goal range, I think, for Chase Louder.
Unbelievable. You had to be thinking it's going to be a 16-9 game, and Kannapolis might have a chance to get off a few passes. But watch Bartles. We saw him with a key interception in the Bell game, Randy. And here he's off to the races. Look at that wall he's got in front of him.
He's still 50 at the midfield there, and now he runs out of blocking, but they finally get him. So Kannapolis with a great opportunity, and I did not see the penalty marker.
I still don't.
What's going on here? We'll get the call from the official here. The referee will come over on the side. I think he's going to tell Coach Helms. I've seen some weird stuff happen in college this year where they advanced the field goal try. They advanced the, was it Furman and Appalachian State?
Yeah.
That was
go
weird.
for a 2-point conversion, take it all the way back. Now, this is obviously going to be a Lulu, Randy, because he's going over to tell both coaches before he tells anybody else. So this is going to be something.
Let's see. Coach Massey's complexion has changed about 4 shades since they moved the ball back.
Well, now, I mean, is the ruling that you can't do it? He was in the end zone.
Yeah,
he was in the end zone.
Right.
That's exactly what it was. That's right. Had it stayed out of the end zone, he might have had the opportunity.
Yeah, he was definitely in the end zone, so they will get it back at the 20.
I thought there had been a penalty. One official ran way back there like he was going to pick up a flag, but
And he caught it right at the 1-yard line. It's a legal play.
he must have been a few steps in the end zone. It looked like he was.
There is no signal for that particular foul because it doesn't happen very often.
The rest of the other officials were running down there like it was still a live play. Nobody else caught on.
Well, the Wonders, instead of being set up at the 26, 27-yard line of Northwest, now are on their own 20. And they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Edwards will probably be in the pattern. And he says, Coach, I don't see that on my program.
But one thing to keep in mind, Randy, we talked about Brandon Franklin and how well he's done running the ball tonight. Through the air, he's 5 for 7 for 88 yards, and he does have an outstanding touch on the deep ball.
They're going to put time back on the clock, too.
They already have. It had gone down to 32-something.
Hey, they're on top. This officiating crew on top of it, man. Give these guys an award tonight. Okay. Everybody is eligible, looks like, for a pass. What's Franklin do the quarterback draw? Now he gives it to Edwards, who they got him by the ankle, slowed him up, and then help arrives.
And Franklin runs over immediately to call a timeout. So the Wonders aren't going to be content here to just run things out. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that. You just let the clock go from here.
Well, they were set up just a little out pattern, and if you don't get the touchdown, at least you're going to get Louder on for a field goal try.
Well, you just come back with the spread, as we mentioned, the 4 receivers, and you go to the spread, put 4 out there, and they go a little delay, a little draw there to Edwards up the middle. And, that's the kind of play that Franklin has been breaking.
Well, the odds are we won't see the hook and lateral again because we already saw that in the first half.
Wasn't that something?
Or it's called about 16 different things, but...
now, Northwest has been known to go pretty deep in the playbook.
Yeah, we haven't seen Mike Helms as one of those you draw up on the sidelines in the dirt, but tonight it's kind of hard. It's a little mud.
Now Coach Massey wants to come out and talk with his players, and so the Northwest coaches tell their guys to come over and let's have our own meeting.
Make sure everybody's on the same page. We'll be back in just a minute. We are Franklin. Plenty of protection. Going deep. On the fly. Out of bounds. And Williams may have been shaken up. He hit the deck pretty hard over there. He had his receiver beat, but was out of bounds and the ball overthrown. So an incompleted pass with 31 seconds exactly to go. It'll be 3rd and 7 now facing Kannapolis.
Boy, and a nice job over there on that left side by Scotty Atwell. He had a guy right in his face and kept battling to give Franklin enough time to wait for his receiver to get downfield.
Russell splits to the left. They may just take a knee here. Let's see. Boy, this will line up. They're going to have 3 and 4 wide receivers. Got a slot, 2 slots. Now they'll bring Peoples in motion and give it to Butler, and he'll be stopped for a loss back at the 20-yard line. Horatio Davis, number 33, in to make the hit.
Well, he just threw people off as he came blasting through that time to break the play up.
4th down, the clock ticking inside 10 seconds to go. I don't think Annapolis going to have to punt because the play clock will, actually the game clock will run out before the play clock. Boy, every bit, maybe better first half than we expected. Northwest Cabarrus right now with the advantage at the break. Simply delighted you joined us this week for Northwest and A.L. Brown. There you see our halftime score. We only hope the second half's as good as the first half was. Let's take a look at some numbers for you.
Well, a lot of this is going to be because Northwest Cabarrus kept the ball for about 16 minutes. Kannapolis only had it for about 7. 9 first downs, 112 yards on the ground. Kannapolis and edge passing. The total yardage fairly even. No turnovers, but look at the penalty yardage. 5 for 50 for the Wonders, and that hurt in that first half. And taking a look at our keys, we mentioned that Josh Steele, the all-conference performer, has played up to his level so far. But right now, the advantage is going to that Northwest offense, particularly with Ken Kepley. He's been getting the job done so far, and Northwest linebackers have played pretty well so far. Weapons of mass touchdowns. How about this, Randy? Randy Johnson got his 9th touchdown in the first half, as did Allman for Northwest. Brandon Franklin got his 15th touchdown in that first half.
And how did we get to that 13-9 score? We're going to take a look at some scoring plays for you. And here we go, the highlights. Here's Northwest.
First score of the game, the sneak by Johnson, and that was after a 16-play, 75-yard drive to open the game. Here's Brandon Franklin around the end, spinning into the end zone there. As we mentioned, his 15th touchdown of the season. That was about 13 yards out. The extra point was blocked there.
Now, one quarterback says, well, watch this. I'll top this. It seems like they are doing that repeatedly. Some great offensive plays. And tell you what,
You, Randy, mentioned special teams in our open, and how about this so far on that front? 2 blocked extra points. You had a 35-yard field goal good by Kannapolis. Then Northwest misses one from 28 short that was almost run back, except it was recovered in the end zone, so you can't advance that. We saw on that 35-yarder that was good for Kannapolis when Louder planted, his foot came right out from under him, so the field conditions have been a key, and the special teams play has been key.
And speaking of special teams, we're about ready to get it underway. Kannapolis will get their hands on the football to start the second half. Peoples and Williams are the deep backs. There you see Mike Crutchfield making sure you've got the right angle. You know, kickers are a rare breed, and they're finicky. It has to be at that certain angle. He's got the black stockings pulled all the way up tonight.
And he's got 2 same shoes now. Isn't that a penalty for a kicker?
No,
You're supposed to have one special one to kick it with, right? The one that's got the lead in the toe.
I don't know. I mean, you know, superstitions abound here. It looks like 2 shoes look just fine. The 2 bobbled, picked up. This is Peoples. Boy, flags are down. Peoples down the sidelines. And we'll try to outrun the kicker. And this one probably will come back, but you don't give up until you hear the whistle.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be a block in the back that's going to bring this one back. Second big return for Kannapolis, nullified by a block in the back.
Unofficially, that would have been a 98-yard kickoff return, but it will come back, and they'll assess the penalty from the point of foul.
And the flags are about at the 11 or 12-yard line, so it'll probably be one of those half-the-distance deals.
Let's watch it again here. You see Peoples bobbled it as he...
The first one in the back is just a little push right as he starts to turn the corner. You should be able to see it pretty clearly here. Right there, see it?
That's one. And there goes the flag.
And it was another one a little bit further back right behind that. It was Andrew Mead, I think, who made the block. Just the slightest little touch in the back, little push there, and the flags come flying. And for Kannapolis, it's going to be the 6th penalty. And this one's only going to cost them about, what, 7 or 8 or so.
But if it hadn't happened, it cost them 6 points.
Yeah, that's right. If you look at it that way, the math really gets bad.
Kannapolis take away those penalties on those two special teams, and they're up in this game. We didn't think anybody was going to be able to punt in the first half the way these offenses came out. They were using that 93 octane, I believe, Woody.
Yeah, the adrenaline was flowing.
Might have had that racing fuel in. I'm not sure.
Looks like they're going to put it just outside the 6, Randy.
Wonders backed up deep. Franklin and the Wonders with their first play from scrimmage here in the second half. Out pattern complete. Williams trying to get to the outside is wrestled out of bounds. It was Brian Roseborough on the coverage at about the 16-yard line.
Well, no fear in Brandon Franklin. He comes right out firing. Look at this.
Tough pass to cross field, and you telegraph it somewhat, but you got a guy with quickness out there. You get him one-on-one, and we know what he can do. Williams with 18, or actually 17 catches and 8 touchdowns coming into tonight.
And see, Franklin studying the plays. That's just so... You know, how many years ago you never saw anything like that? Not too many. And now everybody's got all the plays.
Franklin, Cox fires upfield through the fingertips. Had the receiver wide open. Josh Russell unable to haul it in.
And when Brandon Franklin let that one go, it looked like it was really going to sail up into the stands, but it got right to Russell. He just couldn't wrap it up. A little bit high, but I bet you Russell would tell you he should have had it.
Talking about Johnson putting some extra juice on the ball. I believe Brandon Franklin's pumped here a little bit. He's got some adrenaline left. 2nd and 10. At the 16-yard line. Franklin coming down the line, trying to option, but the pitch man went up the block. That was Edwards, and Northwest came in a hurry, led by that man, Bryson Stewart, who going both ways, normally a tight end on offense.
Watch McKnight, 52. He's the guy who really slows the play down so that Stewart could make that play. Give a lot of credit to McKnight, the senior defensive lineman, 6'1", 240 pounds. Bryson Stewart with a big catch earlier.
A lot of black shirts in that vicinity just kind of messed that up. 3rd down and 10, no gain on the play. Franklin will try the left side this time. Cox fires, zips it upfield, complete. Williams first down out to the Wonder 35-yard line. Roseborough again on the coverage.
Well, it seems like Williams can get open almost at will, doesn't it, Randy? I mean, he just finds the seam and sits down and makes a good target of himself for his quarterback. Look at this. Runs him off, stops up short, opens up a 3 to 5 yard gap, and that's all Franklin needs. Plenty of time, plenty of arm.
Wonders with decent field position now for the first time here in the second half, and they will give it to Edwards, and he is popped. But he got some good yardage out to the 41-yard line.
Really kept working hard, and we mentioned Coach Massey was telling us on the Headliners program, Randy, that Maurice is still nursing a sore shoulder, and they said it's something that he's just learned to live with. Now, of course, we need to say that if there was real danger of a serious injury because of that, of course, they would not play him, but it's just a nagging thing that is painful for him, but he's playing through it and playing hard, and he's got a lot of heart.
Franklin keeps it, cuts it upfield, breaks 2 tackles, midfield down to the Northwest 48-yard line. First down, Wonders, and here comes that green and white offense.
Randy,
they're roaring right now.
Scotty Atwell came around and got in the gap that time and just threw people out of the way. Watch big old 71. See him leading the way here? And at the end, watch him throw his man down. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Scotty Atwell, 308 pounds, and he used about 307 of it on that.
You notice the Wonders are no huddle. Not a hurry up, but no huddle offense here. Out of the gun, Franklin on the slant. Williams drops the football. Had the first down at about the Northwest 37-yard line.
And that's the second time, Randy, they've had him wide open on that slant, and he couldn't come up with the ball when he had plenty of green room in front of him. Green real estate.
We mentioned those beautiful white unis at the beginning of the game.
Brandon Franklin could do a bleach commercial right about now, couldn't he?
Still, he's been in a few hits tonight. Out of the gun, 2nd and 10. Franklin having trouble initially getting the ball. Now under pressure, throwing deep, complete. Making the catch this time is Russell. Angles trying to pick up the block. Heading toward the post. He will have the touchdown. 48 yards on the pass completion.
Brandon Franklin took a whale of a shot at the end of that, Randy, but he popped right back up. Josh McKnight put a big lick on him.
Russell with his 29th catch of the year and 7th touchdown pass of the season. And the Wonders on top in this game for the first time tonight, 15-13. Now you go back and look at the missed extra point. If Louder can hit this one, it'll give them a 3-point advantage. High snap, and here's Williams around the right side going for 2, and I think that was by design, Woody.
Yep.
Williams will convert the 2-point conversion, and just like that, the Wonders from K-Town have come roaring back with 9:06 to go in the 3rd period. They're up by 4. As we come back, the Wonders really opened it up with a passing game. There were a couple of drops, but the one that counted was Josh Russell held on to it and then just outran everybody. Picked up some key blocks.
Sure did, and Franklin got a big pop at the end of that, as we mentioned. But how about this, Randy? Joe Habina is here from the Cabarrus Neighbors, and he points out, we talked about the stats. Brandon Franklin, 8 for 13 now for 164 yards. Of those 5 incompletions, 4 have been dropped.
Mercy. Louder to kick. Not particularly deep, the 11-yard line. Roseborough is smothered at about the 17. Good coverage that time by the Wonders special unit. Aaron Curry, first guy down. Let's look at the touchdown coming up here. This was a 48-yard touchdown pass.
And as you mentioned, Franklin had a little trouble with the exchange, kind of bobbled it, then rolls. And watch 52, McKnight, come right in his grill here as he fires it. And now watch the block by Edwards right here. Maurice Edwards helped him turn the corner.
It caps a 94-yard drive by the Wonders. So they're on top for the first time tonight. They trailed 7-3 and 13-3. And there's Kempley. Boy, what a first half he had. Johnson thought about it. Now pumps it upfield. And did Allman make the catch?
They're saying no, and there's a flag down back upfield, Randy, in the offensive backfield area.
Could have been roughing the passer.
It is a personal foul against Kannapolis. I can't believe that Randy Johnson found a seam to get that ball through.
And he double clutched.
Yeah. I mean, there was nowhere to get that ball through.
I figured he was going to just carry it and run it, or tuck it down and run it, and I'll give him an automatic first down on the personal foul. Roughing the passer after he got it going. Of course, sometimes you're a big lineman, you're coming in, you want to get that guy, and you can't stop.
Randy, 7 penalties for 71 yards against Kannapolis. No penalties for no yards against Northwest Cabarrus. That's huge.
It's now first down and 10 Northwest at their own 34-yard line. Single set is Kempley. Johnson rolls. Good time. Going deep on the fly. Roseborough can't get it, about a step too short. Had coverage that time from Peoples. Just on a straight fly, and that was a good foot race there.
Do these quarterbacks have some cannons or what? My goodness.
You got some quick receivers out here, they can't catch up to it. Oh, that was the most exciting incompleted pass I've seen here in a while.
This whole game is exciting.
8:46 left in the 3rd period, just underway in the 2nd half. This time he's got Stewart wide to the right. 3 receivers to the top. And they go to Kempley. Ball is loose. This might be our first turnover of the night. And it is. Wonders have got it.
The ball just popped up in the air. Let's see who comes out of there with it, Randy. Matt Jordan looks like.
Matt kind of down there in the muck, the senior, and that is our first turnover of the night.
Watch it pop up. I think it was Weeks who knocked it out of there, number 42, and the scramble is on.
Looked like Kepley was going to get out of the traffic, and then Weeks comes in, pops it out, and the Wonders.
Well, I'm sure they talked about keeping an eye on number 12 in the Kannapolis locker room.
Here comes the screen, and Franklin loses the ball. Northwest will get their first turnover of the night. Danny Meandery comes up with a loose football. There you see number 70. Boy, it was a jailbreak. What do you like to call it?
Well, they were trying to set up the screen pass, but for some reason, Franklin didn't get rid of it. I don't know if he started to drop it or felt like he couldn't get it loose or what. See, they're setting up the screen. He looks, and the ball's out.
3 black shirts in the vicinity. Meandery comes up with the football. Well, they exchange fumbles. And after all is said and done, Northwest improves their field position by about 14 yards. First down at the 48-yard line of Northwest. Johnson pumps once, backs up, forced out. Now across field, complete. He waited and waited and waited. Allman came back. Jacob Allman. What a play. Brett Bartles on the tackle, but Jake says he saw his quarterback in trouble and says, I'm going to go try to get loose here somewhere.
Johnson wanted to go deep down the sidelines. This is what he's looking for here, but it's not there. Now he has to improvise and find something else. He sees Allman waving his arms, breaking loose in the middle, and completes the play. What a nice strike by Johnson.
Throwing it across his body as well. What an arm. 37-yard line of the Wonders, first down and 10. Johnson all day now. Going deep, and this one overthrown. Trying to hit Allman on the sidelines. Peoples, the nearest guy there for Kannapolis, down inside the 10.
He flicked his wrist and threw that about 30 yards off his back foot.
Check that kid out. He may have that little S on his other shirt there that says Superman. These guys have got some arms.
Right now, Johnson 6 of 11 for 91 yards. Franklin 8 of 13 for 164 yards and a touchdown.
Jackson has checked in there. You see 26. Injured early in the ball game, but it's been the Ken Kepley show in the running back position. He's in there now. It's been a while since we had Kepley and Jackson in the backfield. Jackson sidesteps one tackle. Too many Wonders, and there is a late flag. That might be in the holding variety offensively. Jamel Weeks, who has played heck of a game tonight in defense.
A little bit of a spacing problem on this one, Randy. A hold is going to be the call on Northwest, but you saw there as Johnson got ready to pitch it, first penalty against Northwest, he had to hesitate to wait for Kepley to clear before he could pitch it to Jackson. And as we have seen time and time again, he who hesitates is lost.
Or is tackled.
Yeah.
For a loss. First penalty of the game against Northwest.
He just had to clutch and hold it for an extra beat until Kepley cleared, and that slowed things down.
They have not seen Johnson, the quarterback, take off for the races like his counterpart Franklin in a while. This might be the play to do it. 2nd and 20. They break the huddle at the 47-yard line of the Wonders. Play clock going to get them down to 5 seconds. I formation. They do get the play off. Fake the toss. Here comes the pressure from the inside and the outside, and they got him back at the 41-yard line. Got away first, but Adam Cabarrus, the linebacker, would not be denied.
And I don't think Johnson saw him. He saw the first man and ran out of the pocket. Right here, he feels the pressure, but he didn't see Cabarrus. Look at that.
Cabarrus just kept coming. It was 72. Matt Jordan who got him, slowed up, and positioned for his teammate.
I think that's the 2nd sack of the night for the Wonders.
3rd and 30. Well, they'll be teeing off right now.
This is when the teams have excelled, isn't it?
Yeah. They split the backs. Johnson to the air. Good protection. Going deep to Allman, but he throws it into the stands over there.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication there. Somebody wasn't on the right page because that ball was 10 yards beyond Allman.
Set your VCRs, folks. You're going to get to see a punt in this game.
We haven't seen very many of those.
It's something you might want to show your grandkids. 6:33 to go, third period. Wonders down 13-9 at halftime, come out storming and score a go-ahead touchdown.
Talking about showing your grandkids, it'll be back in the ought-to game.
I guarantee you.
That's a block.
Partially blocked. Where did it go out of bounds? Weisman says the 42 of A.L. Brown. They'll have great field position to start this drive on offense.
One of the Wonders got a hand on it. I couldn't tell if Reeves, Peoples, or Bacon were all around the area, but one of them got a hand on that ball and deflected it.
Once again, there's a special team making a difference in this game.
That wasn't a bad kick. That was somebody got a hand on it.
Michael Hamilton, the punter, just didn't get it away in time. Quick toss. Edwards waiting for his blocking. Not much there. Northwest strings it out pretty nicely. About a yard gain, maybe two.
Got one of the Trojans injured in the middle of the field. Looks like Allman, and that would be a big loss if he's not able to keep going. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
That young man, not only an excellent student, athlete, outstanding football player, but you know what his real good sport is?
What?
Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is a big wrestler, isn't he? Look at this. Two guys out here trying to block Meendering. And that ball might have come loose at the end.
2nd and 9. Little pop outside to Williams. He'll be short of the first down. And Kannapolis is begging for a foul. Bryson Stewart on the tackle over there.
There have been a couple of close calls on the sidelines that could have drawn penalties, and the Kannapolis fans starting to get a little antsy about that.
Well, there was one over here in front of us in the first half that the official kind of cocked.
Yeah, he did. He reached. He reached for the flag, but he didn't draw.
They're going to say that was an incompleted pass. Okay. Did not have possession when he went out of bounds. He was still juggling it. Humps wants Franklin under heavy pressure, going deep, and overthrows everybody.
Randy Johnson, his counterpart, skids about 10 yards trying to dive for that one. Boy.
He picks himself up. I look back upfield. Franklin's dusted. Well, there's no dust. He's mudding his pants.
He's more like scraping the mud off.
Yeah,
you don't just brush it off.
So he'll stay in, and they'll send in the punter.
All of a sudden, the defenses have shown up.
What is going on here? Meade.
What a game.
Meade, one of the cleanest uniforms out there. High snap, brings it down. Wobbly kick, angles away. Allman Fields at the 20. Can't get away. He'll go down right there. No return. Good hang time by Meade. Looked like John Hyatt and Quantrez Grant on the coverage for Kannapolis. Well, for Mike Helms, you're going to say, man, I don't want to. Let's get something going here.
But you know, Randy, it feels like Northwest has controlled this game. Yet you look at the scoreboard and they're down by 4. I mean, we mentioned that they almost double up Kannapolis in terms of time of possession in the first half.
Well,
and how big was that back-to-back fumble sequence? Because Northwest was going to have their backs against the wall and a chance to go, down by a couple of scores.
Kannapolis with some adjustments on the defensive line, and they pay off. Looks like no gain on the play. Andrew Baker, one of the outside linebackers, initially for the Wonder defense.
And he flew through there, Randy, just laid his body out and looked like he took a ride on the merry-go-round when he got there. I mean, he just sailed through the air.
No gain. That'll be 2nd and 10 at the 21. Northwest scores their first 2 times they have the football, and since then, Kannapolis has kept them off the board. Single set. Take the toss. Johnson pumps. Forced out. Upfield. Desperation. A little short there. You only got so much time, and Johnson is getting good time, but I guess you can credit the Wonders secondary right now.
Well, the Wonders were going for that little fake pitch because Johnson is so good at selling it in the first half. Here in the second half, they're not as eager to go for that play, and they're staying home on defense. That's why you see the fake pitch by Johnson. Then he stands and looks, pumps, looks, and finally has to get rid of it. Credit the Wonder linebackers and secondary for doing a good job of keeping everybody bottled up.
Now it is 3rd and 10 facing the Trojans with 4:48 left in the third period. Upfield. incomplete. Roseboro somehow got it. I thought it might have been picked. Everybody was meeting at the intersection there, Woody, and Roseboro with the catch and a Trojan first down to the 39.
Everybody said, oh, I think it was Brett Bartles who almost got it. See if it's 11. Yeah, he was headed the other way. He thought he had it.
I said, what? I said, I know my eyes are getting bad, but
when you listen to the replay on that last one, you could hear the ball hit him and get through to Roseboro.
From the I formation, Jackson. Boom. Look out. Boom. Up the middle. Foot race. First down, Wonder, 32-yard line. Fisher on the tackle.
Excellent footwork by Gerald Jackson. Didn't give up on the play. It wasn't there initially. He was patient. Used his footwork, bounced it around, and kept going. Watch. It's not here. It's not here. Patience, patience. Here we go. Look at him accelerate, Randy. Man, he can turn it on.
I don't think there's anything wrong with his ankle there.
It didn't look like it.
They put some of that Wonder tape. Maybe they have some duct tape on that. That stuff's a cure-all, isn't it? 33-yard line. Kepley, the fullback, got about 3. Calvin Bacon. Kevin is the famous uncle, I think.
Yeah, right. Kepley, we had him with 13 carries for 110 yards in that first half. The Wonders have been keeping a closer eye on him here in the second half.
I'm still waiting on Johnson to take off with the football. He's been running around, throwing. He's quick. Straight drop. Pumps. There he goes. Short of the first down to the 27-yard line.
Now here's the Northwest coaches, Randy, realizing what's been going on back there on that play action and then the pump fake. He's been getting heavy pressure from the outside, so this time you pump fake it and take off up the middle. The pocket's collapsing around the outside. See that? He's got a seam here. And he gets a pretty nice block in the middle of the thing there from Stewart. Well, you said, waiting for him to take off.
He just didn't have a long enough runway that time, though.
Yeah.
Third down, we'll call it 3. This kind of in between here. You got to be feeling that the Trojans are in 4-down territory there right now.
Yeah.
At the 27. Jackson nowhere to go. Still got something positive, maybe to the 26.
He looked like he slipped when he tried to plant and cut that time, Randy.
They played a lot on that part of the field right there between the hash marks, and that appears to be the worst sodding problem they've got.
So they're going to credit him with about 2.
Fourth down, just outside the 25-yard line. And they need a long one. Obviously going for it. One of those key plays in the game coming up here. Out of the eye. Jackson. First down. Jackson. Touchdown.
Wow. How about that? Well, we said the teams have been making their huge plays when it's 3rd and a million or 4th and something, and here it happens again. He's still kind of gimpy, isn't he?
I think his teammates hugging him down. Here comes the injury. Since early in the ballgame, Northwest puts points on the board and retake the lead by 2.
What a game.
Here is a very big extra point in this one. Simeon out of the hold of Allman. Kick is up into the night. 1:47 left, third period. It's a 3-point game.
It's been 26 years.
I believe
some of those guys weren't born.
I don't know if their mothers were born.
Yeah, maybe not.
1:47 left, third period. Crutchfield to kick it back on the Wonders. We might be in the offense mode now for both teams. Let's see. Boy, he's pumped. Williams at the 1. Watch out. Out around the corner. And a few black shirts staying home to get him. But a decent return. The Wonders will set up shop at the 27-yard line. That's what's the 25-yard run. Best way to the goal line, they always say, right up the middle.
And this is on 4th and 2 or 3. Look at him go, Randy. The acceleration is the thing with Jackson, not the top speed.
Virtually untouched.
Give some credit to that Northwest offensive line for blowing open a big hole there on the left side of it.
Give credit to both these offensive lines tonight. They got some big mutters out here.
That's Gerald Jackson's 14th touchdown, Randy.
Single set. This is not Edwards. This is number 16, Artis Butler, the 5'9" junior, out to the 32-yard line. A decent pickup on first down.
And Butler primarily used as a receiver in the slot. That time they handed the ball, a rushing attempt, and he makes a nice gainer out of it.
Gives them a lot of options on 2nd and 5, doesn't it?
Boy, both these teams have a lot of weapons, don't they?
Now, one of those weapons out of your picture to the left of the screen, he's already split out. That's Josh Russell.
You saw big old Corey Kennedy running off there, number 93. Randy, he's 322 pounds.
Slot on the right. Gave it to Peoples, and he's, I don't know how he got collared. Who got up off the bottom? It looked like 43 for Northwest. He had
a hold of an ankle as Tony Kress, the sophomore along that defensive front, Randy, only 187 pounds.
And he was kind of busy.
Yeah.
Because there was a big Wonder lineman holding him down.
I think it was big old Scotty Atwell had him pinned like you mentioned wrestling earlier.
That was a battle right there. Well, it forces the Wonders into a 3rd and 7. Marjorie and Russell. Here's the fake. Now Franklin up the middle. Receiver fell down, came up on his knees, made the catch. First down, Kannapolis, 45-yard line. Josh Russell. Man, oh man, we've seen it all tonight.
Are you kidding me, Randy? He falls down, gets back up to one knee and makes the grab. Look at that.
I don't think that's how they run it in practice, but
hey, if it works, it works.
The element's trying to become a factor, but Russell says,
Boy, these kids are just leaving it all on the field tonight, aren't they?
Final play of the 3rd quarter. Peoples right up the pipe. About 8 yards into Northwest territory at about the 47-yard line, and we have got a injured Trojan on the field. Slow to get up. Looks like Tony Kress, one of the defensive linemen. He hobbles back to the huddle. Has 3 periods. Boy, we've got a lot of football to go. 2017 right now. Northwest on top. Country Trojan Stadium, Northwest Cabarrus and Kannapolis hooked up in one of the better ones we've seen over the years in this series, and
there have been some good ones along the way.
And we're going to round number 4 here, the 4th quarter. It might be a round 5 before it's over with.
Who knows?
Kannapolis trying to get back. Down by 3, they've got 2nd and 4. Franklin will have the first down. Oh, gracious. His spin move makes my head spin. Blake Bush, somehow.
Well, they've been using the play action to set up a pass. That time they use it to set up Franklin, and he makes the most of it, picks up another first down. Boy, nice job out there on the right side for the Wonders by Jacob Searcy. We've called his name several times tonight. He's having a nice game.
Jacob, great offensive lineman. Now Peoples is occupying the backfield with Franklin. From the Trojan 36-yard line. Ray Peoples picking his way now, gets to the outside, and he's got some speed. Jonathan with a first down inside the Trojan 25-yard line.
We talked a while ago about good patience and footwork from Gerald Jackson. Watch it here from Peoples. This thing is bottled up right here, but he keeps working, bounces into the outside when things get clogged up, and picks up an extra 8 yards or so.
Talk about the implications of this game. 2-1 in the conference Northwest, 1-1 in the conference Kannapolis. So a big, one of those crucial games. Play fake, Franklin just dumps it out, and he's got Archer. He jukes one man and is really racked, but a good game down inside the 15-yard line. Here comes Kannapolis. Blake Bush again on the tackle.
Boy, Franklin has all kinds of weapons, and he's distributing the ball everywhere. Nice play calling by the Wonder coaches. They're mixing it up. They don't let you tee off on one guy and think you stop him, you stop the Wonders.
Well, we know Franklin can throw it a mile, but we're seeing some touch here on this drive. On first down. All day. Hit as he throws. Lucky to get it away. Josh McKnight laid it to him.
And McKnight and Franklin are getting to know each other pretty well in this one. They have met on several occasions.
That was very intimate that time.
And Franklin never sees him coming from the blind side. Watch. Oh,
Lucky.
want to be a quarterback?
Yeah, lucky there was not a fumble there. He got it away just in time. Clock. I don't know why the clock's running. That was an incompleted pass. Franklin hit as he tried to turn, looked at the pitchman Peoples, and elected to turn it upfield. Down to about the 10-yard line. It'll bring up third down. Ernesto Rodriguez. That's one of my best. That's my favorite guy there. Ernesto. Third down at 7. Out of the gun. Franklin with the receiver open. It's going to be a first down, and good Northwest defense to keep him out of the end zone.
Flag came down that time, I believe, Randy.
And giving it to him was one of the offensive linemen, John Hyde, is saying, man, you can't do that.
Did a flag come out over there? There was some heavy wrestling on the sideline
over there, yeah.
Something flew in there.
Yeah, the first down, Russell.
Yeah, there it is. There's the flag.
Russell, they did a good job to keep him out of the end zone, but it'll be half the distance on the unsportsmanlike.
And again, Randy, you saw Franklin, when he planted to throw, his foot almost came out from under him that time. You mentioned that we've played an awful lot on this end of the field, and it's starting to get chewed up a little bit after a lot of rain, and then a soccer game last night, and then all this play tonight on this end of the field. It's starting to get a little unsteady out there in terms of footing.
And if Kannapolis ready to roll here, the players are ready. Here comes the ball.
Well, the kids are always ready before the adults.
Yeah, that's true. When are we going to get there?
Yeah. Are we there yet?
Half the distance, so it'll be first and goal. Just outside the 1. I formation for the Wonders. See if Franklin just keeps it. Yep, calls his own number. The pile forward. Wonders have gone back on top.
Flag is down.
After the touchdown. And the referee comes over and is talking to the other officials. We will sort this one out for it. That looks like it's going to be before a legal procedure.
And one of the Wonders is hurt.
So take the points off the board. That's the classic position of the old Cabarrus. Or
let's hope that's all it is. Boy, it's starting to look like football, Randy. When the guys get up on the line and in the backfield, you can just see the breath coming out, and it looks like one of those old NFL films kind of things out there.
All we need is that greatest voice in NFL history,
John Facenda.
This is not frozen tundra, but it's starting to look like it.
The officials taking the time out to let him attend to the injury.
We will take a break as well. We have 9:31 to go in the ballgame. Don't forget Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. You can always join us live at our studios for Headliners, as this week we'll be going back down to see Central Cabarrus as they will take on the number 2 team in the country in high school football, Independence, as the Patriots come to call. Brandon Allison was the injured player for the Wonders. Shake it up. I think he's going to be okay, but meanwhile, the legal procedure. It's first and goal at 7. Here's Franklin spinning inside to 5 and trying to get close again.
Inside 10 minutes now, Randy, and well, we're starting to get down to the plays that decide it.
Not only the plays of the week, but the plays of the game.
The good news for Kannapolis is clearly they're within Chase Louder field goal range. He's already shown us that, and they can tie the game with a field goal, but they want the 6.
The jumbo's in here, and it'll be Jamel Weeks. And let me see, he's got the touchdown, and I do not see any yellow bandanas on the field this time. Weeks playing a great game defensively tonight, does it? with the football in his hands from the fullback position, and the Wonders back on top by 3 now. And speaking of extra points, this will be huge.
A big one indeed.
Louder. Consistency would be Chase's middle name. Now
see, he's trying to get off to the side of that little patch there.
Yeah. He's already had experience in that end of the field tonight. Derek Williams to hold. Kick is off the left. You can see it. Great camera angle. And just bad footing. And he missed it left. 8:58 to go in the fourth period. Wonders back on top by 3. Nobody's left this one.
You better not.
Now you're crazy.
Yeah.
Only thing you're going to win is the battle out of the parking lot, perhaps.
You leave this one, you need to get a knot in your head. What a game. Randy, 7 different players have scored in this game.
Here's Louder to kick off, and we've still got an eternity. 8:58 left in the game. He slips as he hits his plant foot, but gets a good toe into it at the 10. Jackson. Look out. Getting from behind, short at the 30-yard line. Well,
now what?
Take out a little TNT and put in some more. A little dynamite coming down.
One of the Wonders a little slow to get up out there, Randy. Looks like it's Jacob Searcy, but I think he's going to be okay. He's running off under his own power now.
Jackson still with an obvious gimpy leg there, but it's not enough to keep him out of this game, it looks like. He's in there on offense this series. Kempley, who had 110 yards at halftime, is blocking for him at fullback. Jackson hits the hole, and there is none. I mean, there's just nowhere to go there.
The Wonders are very good at reading Jackson and meeting him at the point of attack. He's been able to bounce some loose and make some big gainers out of him. That time, nothing doing. There was room in the middle, but the play was designed to go right.
Let's see, this game was 13-9 at halftime in favor of Northwest. Kannapolis came out of the gates like a thoroughbred, came downfield, took the lead, and then Northwest comes back, reclaims the lead. Now Kannapolis returned whole serve, so to speak. Now it's Northwest's turn. 2nd and 10. All kinds of movement on that defensive front as Johnson pumps it out to Allman, complete, but only 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, he really did a good job to concentrate because it looked like he was slipping as the ball was in the air.
They need about 7 or 8 yards to get out of the bad end of the field.
I think that one should have gone to the outside of him. Instead, it came out to the inside, and he had to try to adjust, did Jacob Allman. How about this, Randy? Randy Johnson, Chase Louder, Jacob Allman, Brandon Franklin, Josh Russell, Gerald Jackson, and Jamil Weeks have all scored.
Talk about parity. 3rd down and 7. Straight drop for Johnson. Flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to have to run for it. He raised something up, and I believe, depending on the spot, he is going to be very close, just over the 39-yard line.
We may have to measure this one.
How did he get that far upfield?
I don't know, because it looked like Adam Cabarrus had him lined up and was ready to deliver a big pop. Watch 43 right here, flushes him out. Somehow Johnson dances away and then just uses speed to get the corner.
And here we go.
Now wait a minute.
They're going to bring the chains over?
We got an injured Trojan here.
You can't bring the chains over now because you got to get the people out of the way. So here we go. They'll renegotiate the route here. And we want to see high close. If you're Mike Helms, 7:14 to go in the game.
Look at our man Rob Stuck right there in the thick of it.
I mean, this is our...
Look at that. That's between the legs cam.
Stick cam.
He got it.
Not by much. What is that, the old nursery rhyme? By the hair of my chinny chin chin?
By the laces on the football.
They're playing with a log football, by the way, and once again, we want to try to pick up the identity of the injured Trojan. The trainers continue to work on him, backing him out the 30-yard line. We will step away and hopefully have more information on that in just a minute. And there's the injury, one of the fallen comrades for Northwest Cabarrus, Ken Kempley, the senior running back.
And they put him on the stabilizer and the stretcher and all that, and are taking him for some medical attention. So let's hope he's going to be okay. Had a huge first half, Randy.
110 yards unofficially. After a few minutes of idleness, we're back to the game here on first down and 10, Northwest of the 39. Johnson going for it. Oh, he's got Allman open. Overthrow. Jake can't catch it. A little bit too far.
I'm telling you, Randy Johnson executes that play-action pitch to perfection. It's not just a little, go through the motions, just kind of weak. I mean, he really exaggerates it and wants players to bite on that fake and hold for just a beat. Had his man open.
You think about it, on a normal track, instead of maybe a slightly slower like it is tonight, Allman could have caught up with it maybe. Well, we'll see. They'll sit he along with Swearingen as the wideouts this time. Matt Stack is in at fullback in place of Kempley. Jackson running left side, breaks the tackle, getting hit again, and will be close to the sticks up at the 49-yard line.
I don't know how he got away, Randy. I think maybe at the end of that play it was Bartles who finally got him down, but it looked like Sean Johnson had him dead to rights and that Jackson just ran away. Watch two. Look at that. He just ran through it. It is Bartles that gets him at the end with some assistance.
Third and less than a yard. There's Jackson lining up out of the eye, and Johnson gets the first down into Wonder territory. The 48-yard line as we take inside 6:35.
Well, these teams are a little below their averages in terms of points right now, but we've still got some time left.
Yeah, it's just not getting good. Huh?
Yeah, if averages hold up, this should be about a 29-27 game, somewhere in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, I don't think the last salvo has been fired in this one.
That's right. If there's still ticks on the clock, there's still a chance for somebody.
Two receivers split on first down and 10. Jackson looks to the outside, cuts it back inside, and what he does after you think he's going to go down, he got about 2 more yards out of it.
Exactly. And Randy, the key here is his patience with the play. This is designed to go off tackle to the right. He sees it's not there, keeps his vision, bounces it back to the inside where he sees room, and makes something out of it.
And Reeves making the tackle. He needed a little help that time. 4-yard pickup to the Wonder 44-yard line. Jackson stopped this time in the line of scrimmage. Wonders ready and waiting. They had some penetration in the backfield. Let's see who's getting up off the pile this time. Back 72 over there for the Wonders, and that was Matt Jordan.
And one of the Trojans slow to get up. And in some serious pain, it's Jackson.
Oh, must have re-injured that ankle. And the trainers who have been busy here the last 15, 20 minutes or so, out quickly to attend to that young man.
Well, the Trojans have been pretty much injury-free this year, Randy, and all of a sudden they're running out of running backs.
Well, they lost, if Jackson not able to continue, that's their starting lineup, their tailback and their fullback.
I guess then you'd go with what, Allman and Stack?
You'd have to. 5:18 left in the fourth period. Back in a minute. Just a couple of plays ago, the fullback went down in the likes of Ken Kempley. Now Jackson, the tailback, being helped off the field on the ankle he injured early in the game, came back, scored a touchdown, appeared to be warming up. So you've got your starting backfield out for Northwest Cabarrus, and now multi-positional player Jake Allman occupies the tail slide. And 3rd and 6 coming up. Johnson, complete. Out of bounds, first down, Roseburg, 35-yard line.
I was going to say, Randy, when you start losing guys like Kempley, who really had a huge first half, Jackson, who's been your workhorse, puts a lot of pressure on this guy. Randy Johnson rolls out, fires a strike right into your living room. How about our man Rob Stuck down there standing in and taking one for the team?
That was to a flag on him there. That was pass interference on the camera guy.
Pretty close. Boy, that was right in your living room. There's old Rob.
A Heisman
Senior intern.
Yeah. quick toss. Allman with a good block at the line of scrimmage. Has 5 and has 10 and runs over somebody as he goes out of bounds. It'll be near another first down.
Boy, a couple of nice blocks on that one. Matt Stack had one of them. Bryson Stewart, the tight end, had another to get the corner for Allman. Watch that, 16 and 45. God, just some violent collisions down there. I'm telling you, Randy, these guys are going to be sore.
Can we say it? Hell of a football game, huh?
It's cable.
Oh, it's cable? Okay, yeah. 4:53 to go. Second and short. 2 receivers split to the left. Quick toss. Allman with a big hole and it closed. I think the Wonders kind of baited it. Come into our lair here, and it was Jamel Weeks who closed it down quickly. No gain.
Gerald Jackson running around on the sidelines. Now he's right over there by Coach Helms trying to get back in the game. Unbelievable.
Or was there a gain? Well, they're looking at it. It wasn't much. There you see, if it was at the 25, they got a kind spot.
And look, here he comes right down at the very bottom right of your picture. He was trying to get back in, but they wouldn't let him.
He's got to have a mile of tape on that ankle by now.
Oh,
man, they go four shoe sizes to get it on.
Oh, that young man is just desperate to get back in there and play.
Stack and Allman behind Johnson on 3rd and short. Johnson calls his own number, has the first down. The surge down to the Wonder 20-yard line. That young man's going to be tired too before the night's over.
Well, they can't afford to lose another guy, can they? What a grinded out, clock chewing possession here for Northwest Cabarrus.
What you want is, well, now the clock shows 4 minutes exactly in running in the contest. What you want is a few more yards. You got a good shot. You're in field goal range really now. It would be about a 37-yarder. Jackson back in. They put a new leg on that man, I believe. He got 3 yards. Travis Howie on the tackle for the Wonders. He has no business being back in that soon after that.
Well, yeah, he has really been banged around and just showing you a lot of heart. Now, one of those ankles is so much bigger than the other one because it's got an extra 3 rolls of tape on it.
If you took time to take the shoe and all the tape off and retape it, it would be next week's game.
I was going to say it's going to take them till next Friday to cut all that off.
And Wonder 17-yard line. Jackson with the football. Hit, stood up, no gain. Wonders snuffed that one out.
I think maybe the first guy there, Randy, was maybe Cabarrus, 43. He was among them, and oh, is that Jackson again?
Yep.
Good gracious, Randy. The guy's got it just in a lot of pain. Just showing you a lot of heart, but my goodness, you can just see the pain on his face there.
And there comes a point, though, when you just can't go. You got to go maybe not quite as much raw talent in the backfield, but you got to go with a healthy set of wheels, you know?
Well, now this brings up an interesting situation, Randy. You got 3rd and relatively long, about 7 or 8 or so. And if you're Coach Mike Helms, there's Coach Massey. If you're Coach Helms, are you thinking play the conservative play, get good position for your field goal kicker, or are you thinking take a shot?
Well, you figure he's got 2 downs.
But you got to get a field goal. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you cannot come away from this drive with no points. You must have points on this drive.
Yeah, you won't get the ball back. 2:59 to go. I think you go, well, it's on the left hash mark. Johnson, maybe Johnson on the keeper. And Jackson.
That poor kid's going to need a wheelchair. Gosh, just a lot of pain.
Those are 2 strong folks to carry him off the field, I would tell you, because he's...
Gerald Jackson came in here, Randy, putting up over 1,000 yards in just 6 games. Remember, Coach Helms was telling us he joined the team late, and then consequently he held him out of the first game. So he's only had 6 games to get those 1,000 yards.
Ball at the 17 of the Wonders. Stack, now Allman back in a tailback. 3rd down and 7. Johnson. Here comes the blitz. Hit as he threw it, almost picked off.
There was Cabarrus there along with Reeves.
And number 34 for the Wonders, that was Andrew King, almost had the interception, and that would have sealed the game. But you saw Josh Reeves sneak it up on the left side. He was coming.
Reeves is the one who got a hand on the ball, Randy, but that gives you an idea what Coach Mike Helms is thinking. He's not thinking conservative. He's thinking points. He's thinking touchdown on that one.
It's 4th down and 7.
Are they going?
Well, Allman is in there. He's usually a holder, but yeah, you're going for it.
Now they're calling timeout. They're going to think about it now.
And we're going to keep it up for just a minute. 2:46 left in regulation.
Of course, Randy, this one far from over, but looking down the road a little bit, Kannapolis will finish out the season with Mooresville at home, travel to East Rowan, and then finish up with North Iredell at home. Northwest Cabarrus has West Rowan and Statesville left. West Rowan is here. Statesville will be on the road. And how about Statesville this year, huh?
I'll tell you, the Greyhounds up there at the Holly, it's a tough place to play. Statesville 3-0 in the conference, 5-3 overall. So they're leading. That Mooresville, the only unbeatens in the NPC right now.
But the big story, those are the 1-2 teams in the NPC. You still got Northwest with a chance at Statesville and Kannapolis with a chance at Mooresville.
Let's talk a little bit about Wednesday night coming up. We'll have headliners. Jody Grimes from Central Cabarrus will be with us as we will feature next week one of the top programs of the state of and in the nation. Independence Patriots come to call the Central Cabarrus Vikings. Vikings hoping for the monumental upset.
Well, Randy, instead of going for a 34 or so yard field goal, they're going for it on 4th and 7.
Here comes the game right here on this play. Johnson fakes the toss, throws it out, and it's going to be intercepted. Jamel Weeks will take it the distance. No flags down. It is a touchdown Wonders, and that will seal it, perhaps. The pass, just a little too much air under it. Normally he had been zipping it, but he just lofted it out there. Allman was set up for the first down and a good shot at the first down, if not the touchdown.
Wonders got a blitz here. See that? It forces him to kind of hang it a little bit more than he wanted to, and here's Weeks off to the races. How about Jamil Weeks, Randy? The linebacker has scored the last 2 touchdowns.
83 yards on the interception return for Jamel Weeks. And that gives the Wonders a 9-point lead, you would say, insurmountable. Well,
who knows? Still quite a bit of time because that didn't take any time, hardly.
And I said the play of the game, and it certainly was that. Instead of 4th and 7 at the Wonder 17, they turned it into a interception, and there's the big play. You kept saying, talking about races, the big one. Well, that's the big one in this game.
And the problem for Northwest is going to be now Randy Johnson is going to have to come out firing the ball. He doesn't have Kepley. He's likely not to have Jackson back. And the Wonders are, obviously going to know what he's going to do. We got a penalty coming up here.
Too much celebration, I think.
So this is going to be a substantial extra point here.
Good gracious. I'm going to put it down at the 25-yard. This will be a 34-yard extra point attempt.
Well, he hit one from 35 earlier.
Yeah, but he got 3 for that one.
Yeah.
He only gets 1 for this one. Maybe the turf's a little bitter right there. Got snap, spot, kick.
Blocked. No.
That was a fake.
Bacon come out of there with it, yeah.
Now Bacon picked it up, was trying to throw. Of course, you can still go for the 2-point conversion. Unorthodox, but the Trojans turned it away. But the big news is the Wonders on a 9-point lead. An eternity, especially in this game. The Wonders, you say, well, they look like they're in control, but don't write Northwest off just yet.
You're going to have 2 scores if you're Northwest Cabarrus, and you're going to have to do it without 2 of your offensive stars.
So their work is definitely cut out for them as Louder kicks it off. It's going to be Hamby this time at about the 9. Looking for some room. The Wonder Kick team does their job down at about the 23-yard line. Goes Hamby.
Well, 2:26 remaining.
A game that turns on a couple of plays. That's football, man. I mean, you couldn't ask for more drama in this game tonight.
Remember, too, that Northwest used a timeout earlier when they had that 4th down play. So they only got 2 left.
Needless to say, Mr. Johnson will be under intense pressure. Josh Reeves and company. 3 down linemen. Wonders 8 guys back. Pass out, flag is down. Roseboro is going to try to get out of bounds, and he does, up at the 32-yard line, but that play might come back. We'll sort the penalty out.
Looks like it's going to be enough distance for the 1st down, but let's see what the penalty's all about first.
Illegal procedure will be called.
That's only the 3rd penalty against the Trojans tonight.
Now is not the time to be making the penalties. If you're Northwest, you want to get down and get some kind of points. It doesn't have to be a touchdown. You want to get a field goal or a touchdown.
Right, you know you got to score 2.
Yeah, and get some, and then pray for the onside kick.
Right, because if you kick it away, even if Kannapolis recovers an onside kick, Northwest can only stop the ball twice if they don't have to use any timeouts on this drive.
And right now, they are back to deep at their own 16-yard line. It's 1st and 15 after the penalty. Johnson.
Oh, he never looked.
Threw it behind Allman.
And Coach Helms is out there talking to him about it now. Somebody didn't go the right way.
I think Jake may have been trying to get upfield a little bit more. The pass right behind him, so a little miscommunication there. That'll stop the clock at 2:10, you see, remaining here in the 4th period.
Unbelievable game.
Well, Coach Helms had his troops prepared. These are like 2 big prize fighters going at each other tonight. Johnson rolls to buy some time under heavy pressure, throws it up, double coverage. Allman makes the catch, but they say he is out of bounds at midfield. Well, I don't know how he caught it, number 1, a great play, but he had 2 guys hanging on him.
And that's going to be what the Trojan receivers are going to have to fight for the rest of this game. Their Wonders are going to be playing the nickel and dime packages and not let anybody get behind them, and whoever starts to try and sprint down the sidelines is going to draw a lot of attention. Now you got to be thinking 1st down. You can't afford to punt it away again.
No, game's over if you do that. They need the 31 for a new set of downs. Clock with 2:03 left. Johnson has 4 receivers now spread across the field. On 3rd and 15, pressure. He buys a little time, goes deep, looking for Roseboro, and no flags. They were battling going up the sidelines, Woody, and another catch, but he's out of bounds.
A little bit of pushing and shoving there. Johnson rolls to buy himself some time. Roseboro just had a dead run. But so far, they can't make it work. Now they got 4th and 15, and this is the play of the game. Like you say, if the Wonders get their hands back on the ball, barring something really wacky, this one's over.
Well, we've seen a bunch of 4th down conversions tonight.
Sure have, and a lot of 3rd and longs, too. Not like 3rd and 10s, like 3rd and 20s.
Nothing conventional about the pickups tonight. When they go, oh, it's 3rd and 21. Hey, that's right where we want to be here. No such thing as 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, it seems like. Flags fly, or the
play clock.
Yeah.
They call the timeout.
In order to keep from being penalized another 5 yards. Clock shows 1:55. Coach Helms says, come here, Randy, let me talk to you. And he says, come here, Swearingen, let me talk to you, and we'll see what we can come up with here. They need the 31-yard line. Now, if you're A.O. Brown, a defensive lineman, you got to love this right now.
Well, you know what's coming. All you got to do is just chase the quarterback and not worry about getting fooled on a running play or a play action or anything like that.
And you're sending 4 guys out, maybe 5 guys out in the pattern. You don't have a lot staying home to block, and they've been trying to double team Mr. Reeves a lot tonight, so you know he's going to be salivating some. And Jamel Weeks, who's been all over the field.
Well, the Wonders are only rushing 3 down linemen and dropping 8 guys back, so it's going to be awful tough for Johnson to find any kind of room in there to operate. But let's see what Coach Helms has drawn up in the mud here now.
I guess if you're the DBs, don't get beat deep.
Right, you must not let someone get behind you if you're wearing a white jersey right now.
It's okay to give up maybe the first down, but don't give up the big one.
Right, Kannapolis' enemy is the clock right now.
On 4th and 15, Northwest needs a conversion to keep their hopes alive. Flush from the pocket is Johnson throwing against his body upfield. Roseburg off his fingertips. Had he caught it, it would have been a little short of the first down, and the Wonders will take over on downs.
And Randy, instead of the 3 down linemen that time, Kannapolis came on a blitz. You had Quantrez, Grant coming through there. Andrew Baker was coming through. All of it to try and keep Johnson from getting extra time to stand back there and look.
Now this game saw many lead changes and saw the Trojans jump out to a 13-3 lead early in this game. The Wonders clawing back a little bit, 13-9 at halftime, taking the lead at 17-13, only to see Northwest come back and lead it 20-17. Then Kannapolis comes back, goes on top 23-20. And then Northwest trying to at least tie the game, get in field position, and on 4th and 7, the big interception by Weeks, and he returns at 83 yards, and that is the difference right now in tonight's game. Kannapolis content on burning the final 90 seconds of this one. Ron Massey he's got to know he's been at a war tonight.
What a game.
A game that really, you hate to see anybody lose it. Edwards gets the right side down near the 10-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down as we go inside a minute. Northwest not electing to stop the clock. And the play clock now, you see 25 seconds has not started to tick yet. A.L. Brown, they have got Mooresville at home next week. That will be one of the state's top 3A ranked teams. And for Northwest, they are on the road at Western Wynn. Not a gimme. Not an easy team to go up there and win. Tough place. Around the left side and short of the first down near the 8-yard line. And Kannapolis does not have to run out of the play unless Northwest, I believe they are out of timeouts, so they will not stop the clock, and that will be your ball game, folks. A.L. Brown will come from behind, hard fall to win. There's Jackson, a great game, but the injuries, he's got the ankle taped and iced down right now, and one that they'll talk about for a few years in this rivalry. Kannapolis continues their winning ways over Northwest Cabarrus. This year, a 29-20 win. Back with some post-game comments after this.
We're back here field side at Northwest Cabarrus with winning coach Ron Massey from A.L. Brown. And coach, what a ball game. Back and forth all night long. It didn't seem like anybody had control of it till the very end.
Well, I told everybody it's going to be a good football game. They're a very good football team. They've done a great job, and everybody got their money's worth tonight. 2 fine football teams played their hearts out tonight, and I'm proud of our kids. And coming out, we made the play when we had to, and that's what it's all about. And we're going to have to get you guys to follow us the rest of the year because we seem to have pretty good success when you're around. But it puts us in a good position. It gives us 2 wins in the conference now. And then we go home and we got to get our people fired up about playing at home against Mooresville next week. It'll be a good football game. But, we're getting better. And kids had a great week of practice. I hope those kids from Northwest are okay. I know it might, when you lose kids in those situations, it's tough. But I thought Johnson did a heck of a job tonight for them, Almond. I thought our crowd came back and, get some. I hadn't figured out yet how we got on the 8-yard line with the 2nd down and ended up on the 45 back here. But But it was a heck of a football game, and I think both teams deserve a lot of credit.
Would you have ever bet that Jamil Weeks would get the final 2 touchdowns of the game?
Well, we'll take him. We'll take him. And he made a great play over there. We worked on that all week, and he did a good job getting out there where he's supposed to be.
Hey, Coach, about the footing tonight, it seemed like a lot of guys having trouble planting and cutting. Did it have much of an effect on you guys from your standpoint?
Well, obviously you'd like to get on a dry field, but they had the same problem. So, I mean, both teams had playing the same thing. Seems like the last 3 out of the last 4 weeks we played on a surface like this, and maybe we're getting used to it. I don't know.
Okay, Coach, congratulations on a fine win, and now you got a tough one with Mooresville coming up. They don't get any easier, do they?
No, they don't. It's a great conference, and there'll be a lot of more good football games in this conference, I think.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot, and we'll see you. All right, Randy, let's go back upstairs to you.
Okay, thanks, Woody. I don't think the Wonders are having any trouble getting up for the Blue Devils, who come to call next week. Annapolis will go to 2-1 in the conference, 5-3 overall. Northwest slips to 5-3 and 2-2 overall. Here's the way the final stats shake out, and you see the closeness as far as total yards is concerned. 2 turnovers by Northwest. The final one was the killer with the interception. 1 turnover loss, but penalties obviously hurt Kannapolis all night long. As Coach Massey said, both teams laying it out here tonight. You couldn't ask for a much better one. 29-20, our final score here from Trojan Stadium, as the Wonders come from behind to win it over arch rival Northwest Cabarrus. Thank you folks for being with us. For Woody Kane and the entire Metro production crew, Randy Whitley saying have a nice week.